going on? I am Nando.
And I'm DJ.
And I'm Diggins, and this pod is the best thing to ever happen.
And this is Mostly Nitpicking, a podcast where every week we pick apart a piece of pop culture by looking exclusively at the details. Woohoo! Yeah. This week, we got the first Deadpool movie of 2024. There's one more coming later, but this is the first one.
Nice. That's good. That's good.
I know. It's good that they made two. Hopefully, they haven't titled Deadpool 3 yet anything specific. It could be called something else.
So the fact that this movie bombed makes my prediction correct.
Yeah, that's true. This is what you were talking about, right? The Deadpool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Deadpool movie.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we are talking about a movie as far as in our hearts called Deadpool, but in the rest of the world called Night Swim. The first big
not the
movie
rest of the world, as we found out.
That's true. The first big movie of 2024, kind of, if you don't count the fact that it bombed. But if you count that, then it is. People saw it all over the world today and yesterday. You guys, big week. This is the first podcast of the year that's not the wrap-up year one. Incredible.
Yeah.
We're starting the year off strong.
Yeah, we really are. And yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting one. People that don't know, this is a movie that's out now, probably, if you're listening to this the week the podcast is released, but there's a good chance you haven't heard of it, but it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's January, so there's nothing better coming out to replace it.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, how full were your theaters, guys? Mine was empty.
0. Yeah, I was the full all theater. It was great.
There
My
was
favorite.
4 teenagers with me. And that was about it.
Oh God, was that the worst?
No, they were very quiet and respectful.
You're
a liar.
Diggins has lying.
No. Stop it. Diggins has to provide top cover to all of the theater goers that are in his theaters, so he can prove that only Nando and I are the ones that had the witch's curse or whatever. So he lies to protect himself or whatever.
The teens in my movie theater were quiet, or at the very least, if they were making out with each other, they had the decency to sit at the very back of the theater where I couldn't hear them.
And then afterwards they went and they hijacked the 7 train and they turned it on and ran it for 3 inches or whatever.
Those kids.
What?
That's what happens.
The 7 train is nowhere near me, first of all.
Whatever. I think some teenagers
they did Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3 this week or something? In real life? I know the planes are falling apart, but I didn't know the trains are also broken.
I thought there was a story where 3 teenagers hijacked a subway car using conductor's keys. They got off eBay or something.
Yes, this did happen.
Good for them.
Yeah. That's our news of the week, by the way. We're now doing news of the week.
Were they 3 young women with similar looking spider costumes? Because they're also 3 teens, and that movie also has a subway.
Maybe it was some guerrilla marketing.
Yeah, did they take that train to the Amazon right before she died? You guys, I can't wait to talk about this. This is the news of the week. We've been seeing some wonderful stuff from the hot movie that we all love. I already forgot what it's called. Madam Web, you guys. We're a month away from Madam Web. When does it come out?
Next
February
month,
14th.
So right, it's a Valentine's Day movie.
Oh, yeah. That's
because Dakota Johnson's, that's her weekend forever.
Yep.
So everybody, buy your tickets now. Make sure you can get your hot Valentine's Day date seeing Madam Web. I assume, Nando and DJ, you've already done so.
Oh, yeah. What do you think I am? A terrible partner?
I always wait till the last minute to get my Madam Web tickets. And it's me and 5 other guys looking at, an empty box of Madam Web tickets going, oh no, what are we going to do? I had a whole year to plan for Madam Web this year. And I never do. But, we've got extra time to plan now because we can see not only the cranberry juices from Madam Web, but also the costumes on the cranberry juices. And they're pretty strange. I don't know if you guys have seen these. This is a Japanese poster or something, but it doesn't have any of the words. It has the words, but it's not like a usual rectangle poster. It's one of the ones that feels like it's used for I don't know, not phones, but desktop backgrounds. It looks like a desktop background basically. showing all three main characters. Madam Web herself, Jenny Webby. What is her name? What's this character's name?
Dakota Johnson.
Dakota Johnson, yep.
That's what we're going to refer to her as, yeah.
Yep. Julia Carpenter, Maddie Franklin, and Anya Corazon. I cannot remember. What is this character's name? Madam Web. I don't think it's Web. I think Web is not in it. I think it's something else. I think it's like...
It's Webigail.
Webigail Spiderington. She is in it. So you see all four of them in their superhero costumes that they'll either only be wearing in an alternate future or the very last shot of the movie. People had a lot of things to say about them. I'm curious, from you guys having seen them now, what do you think of them? What are your thoughts?
All right, maybe this is a hot take. I don't think the costumes are overly bad. I just don't know how they make sense in any context whatsoever. Like, I don't know who sees these and is like, oh my gosh, yes. Like, do they think it's going to be like an Enter the Spider-Verse, but like all female and it's going to be that kind of deal? Because it just feels like this will be misleading. But I don't think the costumes are like terrible. I just think they're stupid.
I think they're pretty stupid.
But also terrible?
I think they're terrible adaptations of those costumes. Okay. We haven't seen full looks at them, but I do think the masks are all really strange. Specifically the Julia Carpenter one, because it's one of those costumes where like it's kind of like Gambit, where she's got a big sock on her head kind of that covers up her forehead. But what it seems like they chose to do is give her just a big black piece of plastic that covers that part of her forehead. And also she has cutouts of her cheekbones for some reason. Like it's very strange. They also all have similar spider emblems, but like...
If I can't look at her cheekbones, Nando, how am I supposed to look at it and be like, oh, a wooga, pretty female face?
That's
yeah.
You know?
And then her and the other one and Anya both don't have lenses on their masks, but their masks are also big giant eyes, which kind of look like what it looks like when, people wear big glasses. So it's like, it doesn't help disguise any part of your face. It's not like the ones that like, Nightwing wears that are little and you can't really see his eyes. It's like, you see everything. I just don't understand it.
Right.
But then also the real one is Madam Web is the most insane one I've ever seen. Perhaps one of the worst looking superhero costumes put to screen.
She don't wear nothing on her face.
She wears nothing on her face except for a different person's face. Because that doesn't look like her at all. I don't know what they did.
Maybe that's what it is. She's wearing one of those like Mission Impossible rubber masks to look like a different person.
It really does look like, whatever they did with lighting or whatever, it looks completely different than Dakota Johnson. And maybe it's just the bangs, but also, I don't know, it looks different. The other thing that's fascinating about this outfit is the logo in the middle of it. What is going on? Like,
it's a Christmas tree.
It's two Christmas trees upside down, right? Like, but like, what the fuck is this? I get that, maybe it couldn't be Spider-Man's costume because that's different than this one, but like, at least the other ones seem to have spiders in them. Although we haven't seen the front of two of the costumes. Maybe they all have this weird little 5 triangles thing. But what do you think the explanation for this is, if anything?
Oh, yeah. I'm going with there is none.
Yeah, they're just going to show up in these costumes in one scene inexplicably. They're just going to be wearing them. Because the extensive scenes about befriending a friendly superhero tailor who lovingly makes them all their costumes, all those get cut.
Yeah, I want the scene like that where they fill out their little costume forms and she misspells something that ends up with 5 triangles for logo instead of like spider, like everybody else has a spider. Or she has to draw it really quickly and hers is bad. And then the guy's like, I don't know, I guess this is what it is.
You know what it is? It's 4 triangles and a diamond.
Yeah.
I think it's a diamond in the middle. No, is that also a triangle?
I mean, what is a diamond but 2 triangles?
Yeah, it could be either one. You saying Christmas trees... I don't know if you heard, but her mom was in the Amazon studying spiders right before she died. Do you think it's trees like the Amazon rainforest? I mean, not Christmas trees, but like...
I was going to say, I don't think that they have evergreens in the Amazon, but I mean...
Not possibly. In this universe. Yeah, we also don't have 3 Spider Women.
That's true. Maybe in the spunk.
Yeah. I do find it extra strange that this movie has 3 Spider-Women in it, but this universe conceivably does not have a Spider-Man. Like, there's, but then like, so were they just the Spider-Man?
Not according to the Morbius post-credits scenes, it does.
Yeah,
that's
there's
true.
some kind of weird Spider-Man shit going on.
Do you think maybe that's what Morbius said? He's like, I think this has something to do with Spider-Man. And Morbius is like, do you mean Spider-Woman 1, Spider-Woman 2, or Spider-Woman 3? Or Madam Web, their leader? Because that's what we got here in our universe. And then he's like, I don't know, man. I didn't think this far ahead.
This is a period piece. So these 4 all existed by the time Morbius happened.
That's true. If this is a period piece, are they gonna if they ever try to cross over the Madam Webverse with the regular stuff, are they gonna have to put like little makeup on all of them, like in For All Mankind, to make them look like old people? Make them look like 30-year-olds instead of 20-year-olds? That'd be pretty funny.
Yep, that's what they're gonna have to do.
That's what they're gonna do.
Well, they're gonna make the 20-year-olds look like 30-year-olds, and then they're gonna make Dakota Johnson look like a wretched crone.
Yeah, well, she's supposed to be the old lady one, so yeah.
Well, she would be a woman over 40, so that would mean that in Hollywood terms, she would basically be dead.
That's a great point.
Has no value, right? It intrinsically has no value. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think? I mean, we've already talked about our big bombs and everything like that. What do you think? Like, who do you think this is for in their eyes?
The movie?
Yeah, Madam Web itself.
All the Morbius super fans they re-released that for.
People who are unaware of who or what Madam Web is, but understand well enough that it's a Sony Spider-Man thing and think that they could get them in on that. Or like, ooh, a Spider-Man thing. Cool.
DJ, I honestly thought you were going to say people who are unaware what movies are.
Yeah.
Like, never seen one, not familiar with the concept. We're hoping they'll just be wowed by the moving images on the screen.
Yep, just people coming out of tribes in the Amazon where they've never spoken with the outside world are going to look at this and go, wow, my God, it looks like those 3 women are right there in front of me on this giant screen. And then they're going to be like, actually, researching spiders right over there right before they died. And then they're going to be like, there's probably better versions of this, though. So we're actually not going to see Madam Web. And then they're going to just wait for Argyle or something. I don't know what else.
Maybe those people, too. Maybe also those people.
That'd be pretty funny if that.
What's a movie?
Yeah, if they saw it and then they were like, I don't think we like movies. I think this isn't our thing as a culture. And then they never saw another one. That would be bored.
We're out
like when that
nonsense.
movie theater opened up in Saudi Arabia and it played the movie. That's being one of those people who's like, I finally get to see what American movies are. You watch that and you're like, never mind.
Yeah.
No more of those, please.
Why is it just a shit just talking on my screen?
But this, speaking of movies, speaking of shit and poop and stuff, I think there was some in this. There was some sewage in this movie for sure.
I think so.
We got to talk about 2024's Night Swim, you guys.
Oh, God.
This is the biggest movie of the year so far. It's not even the highest grossing movie of the year. I think that's still like Wonka or something, but it's up there, you know?
Nice.
The people are talking about it.
It's the highest grossing movie released in 2024 in America. And that might not even be true, honestly.
Yeah, I don't even think that's true. I feel like there could be other movies. Let's see.
You know, in fact, I bet there are.
Yeah, like what? Didn't something else come out this week?
Sound of Freedom 2.
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, maybe nothing else came out this week, but it should have. Something else should have. Anyone But You, that movie. I guess that came out last year. That
came out last year.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Night Swim, it's crushing it. Currently to date, it has $13 million. The end. Worldwide, $19 million. So that's pretty good.
So it made back its budget.
Yeah.
How much could it possibly have cost to make? The effects are so bad.
15 million. I already looked this up.
Wow. That's a lot.
I mean, that's what these sorts of movies are. You make them for comparatively very little, so they don't have to do that well to turn a profit.
I mean, no, like, yeah. Well, it looks like it's, I overestimated 15 million, but that actually is.
Well, the baseball CGI was pretty expensive, right? Like that.
Yeah, it was all blurry too.
There. Yep.
Whenever you see yourself playing baseball, it just makes the screen all blurry all of a sudden.
Like, I mean, getting Wyatt Russell and Kerry Condon to appear in this movie probably also a decent chunk of that budget, because I saw them and I was like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, it's fair.
And we're going to find out, because I have the IMDb summary for this movie. I'm the IMDb spin this week.
Ooh-wee.
It's going to be something. As everybody knows.
I want you all to know that Nando read the summary for this movie and his face lit up like it was Christmas morning.
And he promised us 2 cracks at this.
Multiple
I'm going to hold him to it.
Maybe more than 2.
That's a tiebreaker.
I didn't even say 2.
Tie until you get it.
Yeah.
That's the goddamn tie.
I'm very excited. As people know, the IMDb summary, a big old gorilla comes and throws a big stone at us every year with all the numbers written on it, and it's the IMDb summary. You have to decode that. It's a code for numbers for words, and then you do the decoding, and it gives you all the IMDb summaries for all the movies that are coming out that year. I haven't. This is the first one, so we're gonna see. But I think something's wrong with the gorilla. Like I think this is going to be a rough year.
The numbers, or does he just pick up the boulder from somewhere?
I think he might write that. I mean, we don't know. That's not for us to know, but I think it's possible that the gorilla picked up the wrong boulder, or he tried to make some changes along the way. Because I will say this is maybe I think I'm going to say, for the movie that this is, Night Swim, this is the worst summary I've ever seen on IMDb.
Whoa,
100%.
We've done some doozies.
Is it worse than the fake Aquaman one that we talked about?
Yes, worse.
Oh my God.
And I can explain it, but it's really, really bad. And I would love to just see you guys take a shot at it. Like I said, I'm going to give you a couple of takes. In case one of you gets it, then that's great. And I will say, if anybody wants to prove me wrong or anything, this is what I'm looking at right now on IMDb for the movie 2024's Night Swim, PG-13, hour and 38 minutes long, whatever. DJ, I think you lost last week, so you get to go first or second.
So, I'll go first. Can I just ask, and I just want to get an idea of length, or will you not say anything as to
I will not say anything right out of the gate.
All right. That's fun.
Fair for getting multiple cracks.
Yeah, I'm going to be I have a feeling we're going to go to 2 rounds, so I don't think any of you is going to get a hole in one. So for that reason, just do your best. All right. I'm going to get out my paper and write these things down.
Okay. After a family moves into a new home that contains a pool with mysterious properties, they discover that there might be sinister to the new pool that they have acquired, and they must work as a family to overcome their new adversities.
Okay. Diggins, what do you think?
Based on what you said, I think DJ's was too accurate. So I'm going to come up with something more wildly off base. A family must confront the ancient ghost hidden in their pool before it consumes them all.
Okay, so neither of you got it.
Okay.
I think so. I'm gonna say it's shorter than either of your summaries were.
Okay.
Wow, mine was not that long.
It's shorter than those. Yep. And neither of you had any of the you had the word pool, obviously. I don't even think there were more words than that either of you got right. There's a couple of specific words here that if you had, I would have maybe been like, oh, that's good enough to win. But I would like you. Here's what I want. You're gonna do it again, but A, it's shorter. B, something is wrong with it. And it's not just they used weird words like or something and they didn't use good syntax. Like something is wrong with this summary. And I want you to pick one wrong thing and kind of build it around that.
Okay.
If you know what I mean. Like
I think I do. And I okay.
DJ, would you like to go first?
I will.
Okay.
Okay, I think I got it. Two children must work together to save their father from an ancient pool.
The ancient pool.
Okay. Diggins?
Yeah.
All right. A mother must rescue her son from the hidden depths of their evil pool.
Okay. I think Diggins is closer, but I'm not calling it a win.
Whoa.
I mean, like, out of the two, it's closer, but it's not close enough that you didn't get it. Neither of you got what's interesting about this summary. And not because you're not trying or doing a good job, because you can't have gotten this, but maybe you can. Like, I think under the right circumstances, you might be able to get this right. I will say, evil was good. This is the first time anyone said evil, so that was one good thing for Diggins. But again, I think you're going into too much detail.
Okay.
Specifically, and also like it's still too long.
All right.
So TJ, you want to try one more time, and then I'll go to a tiebreaker.
Right. Okay, and you said Diggins was closer. So okay.
Yeah.
A woman must overcome her fear of a horrifying pool.
Okay, Diggins.
I'm torn between throwing this away on a joke answer or trying to do a real one.
The joke one might get it.
Try to do a real one, but also, you never know.
I'm just going to say my joke one.
Okay.
Pool's evil.
No, that would be great, but it's longer than that.
Hold on.
Pool's
what
haunted.
Would have had to have gone wrong?
Well, you said evil was good, so I changed it. I was thinking about doing Pool's haunted the whole time.
IMDb, they're like, fuck it, sorry. Night swim, pool's evil.
Pool's
fuck
evil.
it.
Tells you everything you need. Okay. No, an ancient evil lurks in a family's pool.
Oh, that's good.
Okay. I do think one of you did better this round than any of you have done. However, it was DJ. And I think what DJ did well was building off of what Diggins did well. So I do think at this point, you're still both close.
Okay.
But again, you're almost there. Like
one more.
Still too long.
Too long and too accurate. There needs to be something wrong with this. Something very clearly wrong with this IMDb summary that I will be able to tell you in a sentence, and you'll go, "Oh, really?
Is pool in it? Are we? Do we have
see.
Pool? There's gotta be pool.
But
there better be pool.
He said that we had the word pool.
The word pool is in it. Yeah.
All right.
So words pool, evil, and woman. That was where DJ pulled ahead, but Diggins called her the mom. So I think that's why I think it's
kind of. Well, that's right. Give me one more crack.
One more crack. DJ, take one more shot at it.
Okay. A woman becomes scared of an evil pool.
Okay. Diggins.
A woman must save her daughter from an evil pool.
No, but I like where your head's at. So I don't think either of you can get this. Oh. It's going to be, you can't. Like, it can't be done.
It's that terrible. Are you going to read it for us? Or
yeah, I will read it for you. But first, I want to look at trivia. I didn't really go into this too much.
I can't even imagine. My confidence is like peaking right now. I know I can get it.
Okay. I do want to give you another shot since you said you think you can get it. I do have a piece of trivia that if this is true is insane.
All right, let's go with it. Let's go with it.
I just want to Google this word
So must make
to make sure that it is true and they didn't make this up.
So a pool is a thing that sometimes people have in their backyards. They fill it with water so they can swim, usually in the summer.
I don't believe that's true. These aren't real. There's no way anyone would have a pool. Not with how evil they can be and stuff.
That's true, yeah. This movie would lead you to believe that pools are very evil.
Okay, all right. So I have the thing, and it's great. Okay, so this is something I don't remember exactly when this is brought up, but I guess this is in the movie. This is on the trivia for IMDb. The swim school that Izzy is asked to join is called the Harold Holt Swimming School. Harold Holt is a real person. Who are they, and why is it significant that they are named after this pool and this swimming school? And I don't expect you to actually know who they are, but like, take a guess at who that person is and why.
Harold Holt is the name of their school. Full stop.
Right? Yeah. That's true. So there is a real person in the world named Harold Holt, but their deal is quite strange, and it's the inclusion in this movie is also quite strange. So I'd just love to hear who you think that is.
Famous baseball player.
No, Diggins.
That's a no. Yep.
Inventor of truck nuts.
No. It's a little bit more specific to
the movie.
The movie, yeah.
Okay.
I'll give you two questions. Number one, what is their job? And two, how are they related to pools? These are different questions, but these are the two things I know about them right now. Harold Holt.
I think I got it. Okay, he is a lifeguard who is credited with most deaths on the job.
Oh man, that'd be an interesting one, but that's on it.
Based on Nao's reaction, that's not it.
He is an animal control specialist who has fished the most dead animals out of pools.
No, that's not it either.
Were any parts of our things correct?
Kind of. DJ was kind of on the right track.
I thought it was me,
but it wasn't quite there. And there's no way I could ask you guys a question about the stars of this movie or anything like that.
Was he
whose father is Wyatt Russell?
Yeah.
Was he the swim trainer for Michael Phelps?
No. Okay, here's what I'll say. This is okay. So Harold Holt was the 17th Prime Minister of Australia.
Oh, I know this.
Yeah.
He died. He drowned to death. He went out for a swim in like a dangerous undertow and was like, oh, what? Is the Prime Minister going to drown? And then he did, because his advisors told him it was dangerous, but he did it anyway.
That's correct. He did die. He was killed swimming, presumably drowned. Which is such an insane thing. They named the school in America after the 17th Prime Minister of Australia who died drowning. Like, what?
Yeah, that's not great. Yeah.
It's
yeah,
insane.
They were asking to have an evil pool in their neighborhood.
Like, you would go, Harold Holt, is that somebody? And they'd be like, yeah, he's the president of Australia. The current one? No, from 50 years ago. Why is this American school named after him? But also, yeah, I would be pretty upset if I were the Harold Holt family to find out he got name dropped in the Evil Pool movie. But I'm sure they got bigger problems. I'm going to say Diggins wins it. It's the only trivia. There's only two actors that any review could name, and there's really nothing else to this movie. Like, I wish it was more interesting. I wish there was something to like go on, but there's not. And neither of you got the summary.
It's fine.
There's something special.
That the daughter had a very minor role in Hunger Games Ballads of Songbirds and Snakes.
Yeah, she did. I noticed that. But do we know who that was? Was she the redhead? Was she the one who like? Because I feel like she must have been one of the kids.
Well, yeah, definitely. She's 21 years old.
Yeah, Vipsania Sickle. We all love that one, right? That was one of our favorites.
We all loved her. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you what was wrong with this summary. You know what? I'm going to read you the summary, and you see if you could figure out what happened. This is the summary on IMDb right now. A woman swimming in her pool at night is terrorized by an evil spirit. What happened here?
They watched the one trailer and were like, "That's the movie."
Not even that. It's even more strange. So this movie is based on a 4-minute long short film that came out about 10 years ago, where a woman is swimming in her pool at night and is terrorized by an evil spirit. They just took the IMDb summary from the short film and put it here, even though that's not what this movie's about, even a little bit. There's no woman that swims in the pool at night. There's a girl that swims in the pool at night, and a woman.
No. The
does
mom does do it at one point.
Oh, okay.
She's the first one to see evil pool stuff.
Is he before Wyatt Russell? Can't be. He's seeing it like before they even get in the pool.
Okay, well, she's the first one who sees evil pool stuff. He sees good pool stuff.
But yeah, so the person who made this just copied the one from the thing. From the
That's pretty insane.
It's wild because, like I said, this is like a movie. This came out in theaters this week. And there is nobody at the wheel for this.
And they're just lying about it. They're just lying about what happens.
That gorilla's only seen the short, the short, I guess. The short film.
It's funny because one of the bits of trivia is in 2018, director Rob Blackhurst and writer Bryce McGuire sold a feature-length adaptation of their short film Night Swim 2014 about a woman terrorized in her pool by an ancient spirit to James Wan's Atomic Monster. So, like, yeah, that's where this sentence comes from. And, yeah, they just totally got it wrong. It's fascinating. I've never seen this before.
That's wild. That's
where they just did this with laziness. But
good. I respect that. I respect that doing your job and just being lazy.
Yeah.
That's true. I also respect. I think everyone should work as little as possible.
Well, we got some work to do because as we've been doing, I think we're going to stick with this. We're going to do our very high level reviews of the movie, and then DJ is going to recap it. These are spoiler-free reviews for people to tell if you want to go see this movie and stuff. Diggins, as the winner, you get to start. What did you think of Night Swim? 2024's Night Swim, not the 2014 short film about Night Swim.
Of course. Which I've also watched, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Night Swim is a bad movie. I mean, it's exactly what it looks like when you watch the trailers. It's a schlocky horror movie that has a bunch of jump scares in it. That's not very interesting, except for having a few like really bizarre lines and not making any sense. I didn't really enjoy watching it very much. I'm gonna love the hell out of talking about it. I can tell you that. So yeah, I honestly don't think it's worth watching for the larf. Or at least it's not worth paying in a theater for the larf. Maybe when it's on streaming somewhere. It's on Shudder in a month. You can go watch it there with your friends and talk about how silly it was. But other than that, doesn't really have a lot to recommend it. Silly premise that is not elevated by its writing, and also, this movie starts and I'm like, it's taking a big swing on its like prerequisite thing the horror movie is about, and I wouldn't say it in the parlance of the film. I wouldn't say it hits that swing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's not very good. I didn't like hate it, but that's because I had no expectations for it. It was pretty much exactly what I thought it would be. What about you, DJ? What did you think?
I don't think there's any point in kind of laboring the fact that everything you said is true. It's bad. I'm excited to talk about it, but there's nothing here. And I think at some point you're watching these actors on the screen and you're like, how'd they do it? How'd they get through this? How did they not succumb to illness? Or when you say a line like, the boy must be sacrificed. Sometimes a mother must do what she must do. And you're like, what the fuck's going on? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And I'm in it. I don't have teenagers in my theater. I'm looking around. I'm like, what the fuck? And it's, there was no one there to look at my what the fucks. So don't see this movie unless, if you can convince someone to pay you to see this movie, do that. That's make money, but don't.
Which is not what we're doing, to be clear.
Yeah,
it's true. For this podcast,
and I don't even
a huge mistake.
I don't even think I would say like any amount of money. Like if you can get more than $20, then maybe it's worth it. But if someone gives you $5 to see this movie, I don't think it's worth it for you personally. But I mean. It's Night Swim is terrible and should be avoided at all costs, in my opinion. What do you think, Nando? Yeah, I thought it was pretty boring. It's funny that this poster name drops The Nun and Mithrigan, because they're both very different versions of this, where The Nun, I haven't seen The Nun, but I kind of I'm guessing it's a much more standard one of these horror movies where scary ghost and it's in the walls and it runs around or whatever. And Mithrigan was a very high concept, like kind of campy version of one of these. And this wasn't good at the first thing or the second thing. And I do think it chose not to do camp, which I respect. Playing it straight sometimes is as fun as these can be. But I just think it is kind of boring and like not that interesting. You do go into this movie going, they can't keep getting into the pool though, right? And like they kind of don't. And it's weird how much this movie kind of relies on not just like making no sense, but also like none of the characters talking to each other or thinking about this stuff, which is weird. I also think, but I will say, I think Wyatt Russell and Carrie Condon are fine. I think this movie has a heroic devotion to using every single part of the pool for the murders and stuff. And like, it really does. Marco Polo, chicken fighting, diving board, floaty, drain, pipes, like everything. There's the cover thing. There's a tarp at one point. Like, it's not like a movie. I'm trying to think of another example of this because we've done a couple movies that are a little like this, but like, I think Mithrigan, by the time we got to the end of it, we were like, there were other toy things they could have done. If that was just what this was, if it wasn't also fun, it would have been boring. But with this one, I'm like, whoever made this movie took a 4-page, like 4-minute long short film and stretched it out in the most economical, like a surgeon. Just, they got every inch out of this pool movie. And for that reason, I do kind of respect it. It's boring, though, so don't watch it. I don't think anybody will see this movie. Yeah. I feel like my other thing about the movie that isn't a spoiler, it doesn't seem like it's real. Like, it seems like a movie that the Always Sunny guys are on their way to see in one episode, Like, you going to see that Night Swim movie? Yeah, Night Swim, the pool that kills. You guys are idiots. Like, it just doesn't. Even having seen it, it doesn't feel like it's real. So maybe that's the theme of this year. Madam Web and this, just like movies that aren't real movies. The Beekeeper. Like, what happened? We crossed over into the Berenstein universe or whatever. Did the world become 30 Rock for real? After Seinfeld, AI, and MILF Island, did we just get sucked up into that world and we're living it? Because this is a movie that they would see on 30 Rock.
It is a leap year. Perhaps Leap Williams' influence is getting stronger the closer we get to it.
I do think there's something to it. I don't know. The movie's real weird. DJ, as the loser of IMDb, you get to tell us what happens in Night Swim, the pool that eats. What do you think? What I'm gonna. And DJ, this is an easy mistake to make. Make sure to summarize the hour and 30-minute long movie and not the 4-minute long short.
Right.
Because that happens sometimes. People make that mistake.
Yeah. Although, thankfully, you can just describe the 4-minute short several times, and that'll get you through most of the movie.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm probably gonna fuck this up because I always fuck this up, but I guess that's part of the fun of it. You guys are gonna do that thing where you like interrupt me every like 30 seconds, right? Yeah, that's good. It's good.
Only if you say something wrong.
Tickets is gonna actually me. Okay. All right.
I'd be so good at that show.
Wyatt Russell is a former baseball player who can't baseball anymore because he has MS, and him and his wife and 2 kids are looking for a new house in Minnesota.
I hate to do this to you.
I knew it. I was gonna do it too, but I wanted to let Diggins.
Not how the movie starts.
Yeah, there is actually a scene before that.
Okay. Yeah. But doesn't matter.
No, and it's explained later anyway, and also
it kind of matters.
There's a okay. It's 1992. There's a pool. There's a little girl spending way too long looking at it. She goes into the pool to go after some stupid boat that's in it that keeps coming up weirdly. Like, is the boat a monster in the pool? Whatever.
It's her brother's toy, she says.
Yeah.
Okay. And she gets eaten by the pool and drowns. That's it. You know, that's how the movie starts. That's how Night Swim starts.
Yep.
Fast forward to current day. Wyatt Russell is a baseball player who can't baseball anymore because he has MS. He played for the Milwaukee Brewers. He's moving to Minnesota. The realtor really wants him to play baseball, but he said, no, I'm done. So him, his wife, and 2 kids are looking for a new house, and they go to a nice house, but he doesn't like it. But then they go to a different house, and it needs a lot of rework, and it has a pool, and the pool seems to call to him, so they buy that house. I don't know why they buy that house.
Well, I think he wants the house. He's heard about the healing properties of pools. And also, they say this in the beginning, and this is why in the beginning I was like, oh, is this movie going to be good? He doesn't want to live in the first house because the first house is too well fit for someone with MS. And he does not want to live in a house that is a hospital. He wants to live in a regular house. So that's going to be his deal going forward.
Yes. So
this is the big swing on its horror movie theme that I was talking about.
So they buy the house. They're cleaning out the pool. Wyatt Russell is at the bottom of the empty pool, and he's like digging around in a drain, and he like cuts his hand on something, and then black water like starts pouring out of the drain and filling the pool, and they're like, what the fuck? So they call the pool professionals, and someone who is over
Mark Wahlberg got out on that read on call.
He would have been good in this.
I would have loved him. I love that they called Mark Wahlberg to be the pool guy. And the pool guy says, this pool is special because it's a spring-fed pool. So like natural geothermal well, natural filtering. It's comes from the spring. And then he talks about how, you know, we came from reptiles, and you know, do we go into pools because that part of our brain wants to like cheat death or whatever? Because I guess going into a pool is somehow cheating death. I don't know. It was a weird scene. It kind of sets the tone for this movie in a weird way. Insert woman goes into pool and is haunted by evil spirit. That 5 times.
Yeah.
That's like what happens. But Wyatt Russell, his MS is getting worse. So, I think it's part of it too. She's like, you need to do low impact stuff, like swimming. Yeah. Swimming is real low impact.
Swimming is going to be good therapy for him for his MS.
Yeah,
they say that, and like maybe that's true. I don't know. I mean, probably not like as good as he wants it to be, but it's probably helpful.
And not unsupervised, also for sure. Like you should go to like a YMCA or something and do it. Not your own backyard pool, but fucking around. But he goes into the pool and he starts feeling better. Like he is getting better by going into the pool because of its natural healing properties.
Mm-hmm.
Now you would think, surely he doesn't actually connect those two things.
But no, the pool calls to him. He needs to, because he like, I think when he's in the pool at one point, he sees like visions of himself playing baseball in the past. So I guess he thinks that like, I guess I'll save the nitpick, but like it should have been him in like a Twins uniform playing baseball, because that's what could be, not him playing baseball in the past. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So now he's like, "Oh, I love pool," and the doctor's like, "This is incredible. I'm so glad that you're healing." More haunted spirits. I think I have this right. At some point, the daughter invites a guy over, and they play Marco Polo, and then it's very spooky because she almost like gets captured by like a Goomba, like a little Grimer looking spirit who comes after her. You almost called it
Goomba?
Yeah.
I was thinking the Goombas from the Super Mario Brothers movie. It looked like those guys.
Okay.
I do think it's interesting because there is no consistent design for what the thing in the pool is. Sometimes it's just like an old pilgrim girl or something, and sometimes it's like the ring, you know? I think in this scene specifically, it might be this or it might be when the boy does it. One of them, it looks just like, remember when people would show you that video? I don't remember what it was, but then a screen of like a scary witch would come up and jump scare you. This is maybe like 10, 15 years ago. It's that, that kind of thing.
They did a lot of, and Michelle pointed this out, there were a lot of cutaways and then cutbacks to show like the scary thing, because like they clearly didn't want to overinvest on like good horror effects. So it was a lot of cutaways and cutbacks to like show a new thing that like implied happens a lot later with the older woman with the fucking bleeding eye effects. We'll get there. So I think this happened before, but at one point, Wyatt Russell, but who's the dad, by the way? I don't know if I established that, but Wyatt Russell's the dad. He goes to his son's baseball practice, and the coach is like, "Why don't you show us how it's done?" And he like, it takes him a little bit, but he like crushes a baseball. He's like, "Oh my God, I'm like better. I can crush a baseball that was thrown to me slow pitch from some fucking guy.
Yeah,
I could do it now. I can play baseball." And his son's like jealous or something because his son's like not good at baseball or whatever, but some of the other kids are. So then they have a pool party, and this is like big. This is a pool party. So, whatever, it's a pool party. But at some point, the Wyatt Russell's playing chicken with like the kid from the baseball team who's good, and he has the kid on his like shoulders and playing chicken. And then at some point, he's going like deeper into the pool, and he's got the kid locked on. And then a like black goo like comes from the pool and like flies into Wyatt Russell's mouth. And like he is now like, I guess the pool is like abducted him, and they're like, "Oh my God, that kid's drowning." So like they save the kid, and the kid's got like freaking like skin burn, like friction burn marks on his like on his quads because of how hard Wyatt Russell was holding, how hard he was trying to get out. The son's mad. The wife is like, "No, his MS can make him go crazy," or whatever. And now they're all scared. And now at the point you're all like, "Oh, so they say no more pool."
Right.
And they drain and shut down the pool and no more pool. But that's not what happens. There's still a pool.
She does drain the pool at this point.
But the pool like refills or something.
Oh,
yeah, because of the spooky ghosts.
All right, whatever. So she drains it, but like it doesn't work.
Yeah, and by this point, every character has had a pool moment now, and one of them, I can't remember which one, is like, "You guys all have pool moments, right? We gotta get this evil pool." And then they try to leave, but they can't because of Wyatt Russell's love of the pool and his tether to the pool.
Yeah, so after this, they're like, "We got to get out of here." And it's like, he's like, "I need the," and it's like, he's dying because he's not near the pool. So like, all right, we'll get him near the pool. So now the wife is like, "I'm going to investigate what happened. Like, what is going on?" Oh, at some point, the realtor's like, "Hey, I didn't tell you when I was selling the house, but I'm going to tell you now. Someone died at the house you bought, but like, don't worry about it. It's fine."
I mean, to be fair to the realtor says she didn't know that when she sold her the house. Yes. She found out later, and she didn't want to tell her because like, it's going to ruin everything.
Yeah.
Also, I have said repeatedly on the record, I would buy a murder house because ghosts are fake and I get a discount. It's a win-win.
Ghosts are fake, but I would not buy a pool house for the pool if the last person that was in the house died from pool. That would definitely be like, I couldn't enjoy the pool. even if I, didn't think a ghost did it. Yeah, a person died in it. And like the pools are pretty dangerous.
People die in everything.
Yeah,
people die everywhere.
Incredible.
That's a good point. I wouldn't buy a house with everywhere in it either. But yeah, they try to drive away and then they can't. And then she goes and investigates. Yeah. Where does she go?
Oh, right. So sorry. She like does her own investigation. She does her own research, but the good kind, not the bad kind. So she finds out that the previous tenants, there was this daughter who went missing, mysteriously. So she goes to the mom and goes finds the mom, and it's weird. She's talking about her son, like, oh, my son's like an ambassador to the president or whatever. It's so fancy, right? And it's like, oh, but like, didn't you have a daughter? And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then there's a pivot. So like, she's like breathing with like an oxygen, like portable oxygen. It's got the tubes going on. So at some point, the black ooze that is like the water starts coming out of this woman. And basically the woman reveals that the pool can grant wishes, but requires a sacrifice. And she's like, my son had a disease. My daughter was the sacrifice to save my son.
Right.
And that's fine that happened because she's not herself. She is the pool.
Mm-hmm.
Like the pool has infected her, much like it's infected Wyatt Russell. And she's like, hey, your husband's better. It's going to be a price. So, of course, the son goes into the pool because... Oh, at one point a cat died. Sorry.
Yeah.
There was a cat that the first victim of the pool was a cat.
Well, the first victim from the Waller family.
Right.
That's true.
Yes. So I don't know if he's like still trying or whatever, but
he hears the cat outside and he goes to check on it.
And he foolishly gets near the pool, and of course the pool eats him. To which we have
he already knew the pool does spooky hallucinations, so I don't know what this kid was thinking.
So now we get a double insane sequence. The mom goes to go down to like rescue the kid. And she ties like a little hose with some air to give her like one hit of air, and then she's just gotta swim down. There's like a portal at the bottom of the pool to like, I guess, the spring or like super pool
to the ghost dimension,
the upside down.
Yeah, that. And then meanwhile, Wyatt Russell is kicking the shit out of his daughter because he is no longer Wyatt Russell. He is pool ghost.
Pool zest, if you will.
Yeah,
I like that. So this resolves in two ways. There's a lot of back and forth. The daughter, in order to defeat her dad, who has been poolified, just takes a baseball bat to his knee and starts kicking the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Until he spits up ghost pool water. And
yeah, you beat up that guy with MS, little girl.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he was not a man who had MS. He fucking like threw her across the fucking room.
Yeah.
Well, the pool cured it.
Yeah, he had evil pool MS or something. It's even worse. He had He was Venom for a while.
And then the mom, she like, I forget, she just swims deep enough to get him, right?
Yeah.
It's like basically,
She has to fight off a bunch of ghosts when she gets down there. There's like a bunch of guys.
Right. But then the little girl ghost helps her.
Yes, because she's swimming down, but she's swimming the wrong way. So the ghost, like, there was a coin that was like thrown into the pool with a little smiley face the dad drew on it, and then she holds up the coin, and the coin starts going up, like floating up, and she's like, "Oh, I have to start going the other way." So she turns around, she goes up, and she's fine with the son. The son, they're able to rescue the son, and he's okay, but the dad is still kind of like semi poolified. And you think, oh, they're just going to like leave or whatever.
Well, the son's not okay. The son is also kind of dying at this point because he almost like drowned has pool in him.
Right. He has pool in him. And they try to all go, but like the son can't go because like the water has his grip on him. We'll talk about the line read. So Wyatt Russell's like, oh no, we can't flee. And they have my son. So Wyatt Russell just goes into the pool. There's all the black goo and he swims into it and sacrifices himself so his son can live.
Yep.
The end, movie over. The family's not too bummed about it. Like afterwards, they're like, I guess we'll go.
Yeah, they fill in
They
the
say
pool.
it'll be nice to not move around a bunch because he was a baseball player, so they probably had to move around a lot. So they'll be like, that'll be nice. Dad's dead, but at least we get to be stationary now.
I don't know what they told people. Hey, where'd he go? He ran away? I don't know.
That's
he's dead. We're not going to look.
Yeah.
He drowned in the pool and then his body disintegrated?
Yeah, the pool did it. You guys were at the pool the other day. It was that. But now he's gone.
I mean, all the people in the neighborhood think that he was secretly abusive and she killed him, right?
I mean, I guess, but also, like, what do his parents think? And, like, he must have a family, I assume. What did they tell them? Did they tell them the evil pool story?
Also, I should mention how they final defeat, how they coup de grace the evil pool. They fill it with dirt.
Yeah, they fill it in.
I can't believe no one else had done this in its 100-year history or whatever. Well, it's apparently, I mean, it's been around for who knows how long. The ancient, the Native Americans worshipped it as a god, according to this one random lady.
I think this is a fair point that Michelle made. They filled it with dirt.
Yep.
That's not like the most effective tool probably to defeat Evil Pool. Evil Pool can probably figure out a way around that. You got to do cement, right?
I figured that's how for sure. I guess you could, like, if in a pinch, if you had to fill it in like that day, you could use dirt, but like, I don't know what people do. I mean, usually people don't destroy pools like this, but I imagine you do fill it with cement or something. I don't know.
I mean, I just feel like Evil Pool. So for Night Swim 2, so we're jumping ahead to Night Swim 2, I assume that the pool will find a way to like rush water to, I guess, make the dirt maybe loose or unstable and then just suck it back in. Because it's not like it's like regular water anyway. It's magic water, but like cement, it's not defeating cement.
I do like how fucking agnostic everybody is about this pool too. They don't try to call anybody or anything that's like a pool expert or a water expert or a priest. They're just like, I guess we gotta fill this in. Do you not think the ghost's still around? There's a ghost though, right? Like, yeah, maybe it was in the pool before, but maybe it's in the couch now. What do you know? Like, also, so weird.
The weirdly philosophical pool guy at the start of the movie, says something about how there used to be a lot of pool-fed or spring-fed pools around here, which I would think mean they're from the same water source, right?
Yes,
if they're in the same area, so there might be other evil pools.
And I guess that's what they're planning to do with the sequel or something. But like, man, I just don't think. Like, I feel like in Poltergeist, they leave their house and go to a hotel and also throw the TV out into the hallway. But like, this would be like if they stayed in the house and threw the TV out in the hallway. And it's like, that was how the ghost got in the last time, but that's probably not going to solve all the problems.
They stayed in the house, threw the TV in the hallway, but then the little girl was like, oh, without the TV, I feel sick. And they put the TV back. Yeah.
They put a big like a carpet over the TV and throw the remote in the trash. Nobody watches TV today till it gets no ghosts. Yeah, like, it's weird because this movie it's a horror movie like this, but because of how stupid the premise is, none of the characters can figure out what's going on until the very end of the movie. So you don't get to have any of that stuff where like an ancient guy comes and tries to bless the pool and the pool sucks him up or something. You don't get to do any of it. Yeah, that's it. All right. So Night Swim. That's the movie. Yeah, we didn't really like it though. You know.
No.
Was there anything we liked about it? Was there anything that was good?
It for me in the beginning, I thought this could have been going somewhere because it was like so like silly and campy, but after just the fourth time of the pool being scary, it's like this is nowhere to go, and it shows.
I mean, we're going to talk about so many delightful lines in this movie and their incredible line reads that I loved over the course of this podcast. So like, yeah, there were plenty of moments where I was like having a sensible chuckle to myself. But yeah, the problem is the actual like meat of the movie. The horror scenes are just the same thing over and over again. Somebody is in a pool, a spooky thing happens. They swim to the middle of the pool and start shouting stuff to nobody. Then more spooky things happen, and then it lets them go, and they leave.
Now that I'm thinking about it, how is there not a scene in this movie where, like, the two sexy teenagers from next door sneak over to do pool stuff and then get eaten in a really silly way? Because, like,
listen, the 80s version of this movie, people would have been dropping like flies. That pool party would have been a massacre.
And even like a Mithrigan, like people do die in Mithrigan. She gets them. And like, it's people that are kind of like, you had to invent this horrible woman who is so mean that Mithrigan can sandblast her or whatever with her pesticides. And like, that is a moment that the movie builds up for that purpose. But like, yeah, you've kind of figured there'd be somebody else who would like, you know, a burglar would fall into the pool or something and get eaten by it, or like, just we'd have some fodder for the pool.
Hell yeah.
I love the Yogi Bear stink you put on the word burglar there.
Yeah. He would be a good burglar. Because he's smart. And he wears a little hat.
The average bear.
Yeah. What things were good in the movie? I think Wyatt Russell and Carrie Condon were okay. I think it's hilarious that this is Carrie Condon's first big shot off of Banshees. Right? Like
off of getting nominated for an Oscar.
Yeah. Because with Wyatt Russell, it's like, this is kind of what he's been doing this whole time. Specifically baseball players, but like he plays just guys in the Godzilla show, in Captain America, in, you know, the baseball, what is it called? Everybody Wants Some movie. Like, this is bread and butter. Her, I kind of thought she was, you know, like, imagine if instead of him, it was like Brendan Gleeson or something like that in this role. You'd be like, that's not, you don't need to do that, sir. But I hope they paid her.
They've reunited.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait. Oh, now I'm looking this up. Do you know what? I did not know this. So Carrie Condon does have one role that she does pretty consistently where she probably makes a nice chunk of change. She's been doing it since, well, I guess she hasn't been doing it for as long. No, she's been doing it since 2015. Yeah. And she's done it in 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019. Yeah. Wow. Any of you want to take a guess at what the role is?
I actually know what it is.
You do? Okay.
Go for it.
Yeah, you could say it then.
Well, DJ, you want to guess?
The Crown.
No. It's something you've seen, or at least something you've heard.
I tap out. Diggins, what is it?
She voices Friday, Jarvis's replacement.
Yeah.
Iron Man AI thing.
Oh my god, I knew that. I knew that.
I did not know that. Good for her. It's probably nice money.
I remember that from Banshees.
You remember the part where she's like talking about Iron Man?
Yes.
Yeah, she's talking about like, and I'm able to go to the mainland and live the life I want because I made a lot of money voicing that funny little AI woman in all those Marvel movies. Yeah,
she's like, quick, Bullseye. I know Iron Man's secrets, Bullseye, and you can fight him because you did that in Daredevil, remember? And then he's like, I did do that. That was pretty good. That movie was cool. Not Bullseye, not Daredevil, Banshees. Is she one of those guys now? Because now that I think about it, I didn't realize she was in 3 Billboards. But she is. Is she
she collaborates a lot with Martin McDonagh.
Interesting.
That makes sense.
Good for her.
Were you about to ask if she's Irish?
I was going to ask if she's a Martin McDonagh. Like, yeah, but I guess that's the only thing. She's not in Bruges or the other one that's bad. So she's in 2, the most recent one. So good for her. And she's in Night Swim. So, you know,
she's got it all going on.
What else was interesting?
You haven't really hit it big till your first Night Swim.
And like, you know, it's probably a nice check. She probably got to be at a house most of the time. She probably had to swim. That seems like it's actually not as fun. Like a movie where you do have to do a lot of swimming. Feels like it's kind of a chore.
How much of the swimming do you think was real?
You know, like none. But also, she probably still had to be in a pool for a bunch of time. And like, that's no fun. Because James Cameron tries to drown you or whatever. Like, I feel like you don't want a role like that. You want to be that one lady who has, you know, goo coming out of her eyes and gets to just, you know, be in this movie but not have to get in the pool.
And let's be honest with ourselves here. You know, after Aquaman, after this, we just have to acknowledge a basic fact.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody looks cool swimming underwater.
Even Paya Khan, the whale that we all stand.
Yeah,
no human looks cool swimming underwater.
Yeah,
you look like a weird little frog. And that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not cool.
It isn't cool. I do think like...
What about when Jason Momoa is like propelling himself through water?
Yeah, when he's like doing big farts.
A little torpedo.
Well, that's not really swimming, is it, DJ?
It's the best kind of swimming.
Aquaman.
Yeah. So. It's weird because like, yeah, he swims and can swim and like kind of float around. We talked about this last time. The bar between what Aquaman can do and what your normal Atlantean can do is so like blurry that, yeah, I wonder if that is the equivalent of just like racing really fast or if he is flying like Superman to these other Atlanteans. You think he could have solved this problem, or do you think he would have befallen the night swim as well?
Ooh.
Like, would his connection to the water make him even more susceptible to getting pooled?
Yeah, that's tough.
I think it would have given him his wish of a frosty cold Guinness, and he would have been like, sweet, yeah. And then he goes up to enjoy his Guinness, and then a kid gets killed.
And it's the color of Guinness. Maybe it is Guinness.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's what comes out of the ground. Maybe that's Kerry Condon's connection to it. You know, the Ireland. It's all coming together.
There we go. Do you think the pool requires a child sacrifice no matter the size of the wish? Like, could you be like, man, I wish I had a beer right now. A beer like washes up in the pool. Sweet. And then it's like, well, time to murder a child.
Well, and also
murder. Well, yeah.
I was going to say, does it also go the other way where can I wish for, and again, I'm not saying this is equivalency, but we can have a little trolley problem. But if it's like, I wish to end world hunger because hamburgers fall from the sky every day, no matter where you are.
What are the vegetarians going to do, DJ?
They're veggie burgers.
This
they can have the buns. Yeah.
And the lettuce. And tomato. And cheese if it's only vegetarian.
What if they're gluten intolerant?
Then lettuce for days.
Yep, just eat all the lettuce.
I'll
take mine off and donate it to them.
Is that also only one child?
Maybe. I mean, do children even have to do it? Because did the cat count for a while?
No,
was that
apparently
enough?
not. The cat was...
Well, yeah, apparently, okay, non-humans don't count. It doesn't have to be a child because at the end, the dad is sufficient.
Yeah, but the dad is sufficient for what? Like, they don't get anything out of that
I don't understand why. This is a huge, I think, nitpick problem where he apparently has his MS back after he coughs up all the water. His son got waterified, but no wish, but the dad has to die cuz?
Yeah. It's like, if it wasn't a wishing well pool with all these weird rules, it would be like, yeah, I don't know, man. The pool just wants to kill somebody. It loves eating. And it's like the, Little Shop of Horrors. But because of all the rules, it's like...
pool that eats.
It is the pool that eats, yeah. But you'd be surprised. Like, I kind of do figure, like, I don't know, somebody would get something out of this, There would be some sort of benefit. Maybe they won the lottery the next day or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Maybe there was something we didn't account for.
You kind of want... No, you know what? They should have done. This would have been bad. If they had found the cure for MS or something as his sacrifice, that was his wish or something. Or baseball game stuff, because he really liked baseball stuff too.
More baseball.
You gotta admit, it is pretty selfish that apparently his wish was, I'm cured of MS, not there is a cure for MS.
I mean, I guess he didn't know he was making the wish when he made it. But
that's true.
And his wish was just baseball, right?
Although, when did he realize it was a secret evil wishing pool? Because he seems to know at some point.
Yeah, he does find out. Like, he has that line, this pool is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And like, so he must know it's magic. In the beginning, you're thinking like, okay, maybe he thinks the pool is like, exercising in it is good. And like any pool would do. But later in the game, I think he just gets... But I also think like the problem with this movie is the pool... One of the problems is that the pool is both evil, but it gives you wishes, but it also takes over your brain and turns you into its pool slave. So it's like, by the end of the movie, he doesn't want to sacrifice his kid to cure his MS or whatever. He's got pool brain. He doesn't give a shit about any of that stuff.
Not pool brain.
Yeah, like the other woman,
anything but pool brain.
The woman who they meet in the halfway through the movie, who's like, oh, my son, blah, blah, blah. Like, clearly she's lost it. So like, and her eyes turn into goo when the pool decides. So like, if the pool's just possessing somebody to make them do bad guy stuff, that's its own thing. It's not this wishing crap.
but the pool possesses her to cure her son. So the son gets the wish, or he gets the benefit of the wish. So like, it doesn't have to possess you to like do the wish, right? Like,
yeah, I guess, but why even possess anybody at all?
Like, that's like a second, like, let's talk about, the one drawback is that you gotta kill somebody. But the second drawback is whoever made the wish is permanently possessed by evil water.
Yeah. It's that part of it's such bullshit. Like, it's not fair.
This pool is bullshit.
It's a bullshit pool. What other nice things are there? The kids are fine. Yeah, Wyatt Russell's okay. The kids are all right. The kids are all right. Mark Ruffalo was in that movie. He could have been in this as like some guy. That would have been funny if they had like because that guy who was the pool guy, who is the man who does the weird little exposition, feels like it could be any character actor. I kind of wish it was someone kind of famous. Get a little bit of Zach Cherry in there or something. Although whoever was doing that did a great job. Like, they felt very authentic. Ben Sinclair.
Really their deep philosophical musings on the nature of pools.
That's right. This guy is an actor he was in Thor Love and Thunder
I was gonna say they're all actors.
He's in Thor Love and Thunder as Science Friend. He's in the show High Maintenance. Yeah. Who's in that movie Home Again? But who is he in Home Again? Is he one of the... He's not one of the boys. His name is Nate. Okay, so he's like barely in Home Again. But that was fun, wasn't it? I missed that movie. I'm going to say other positive thing about the movie. I do think the sound design was pretty good. I don't know if you guys had this. It sounded cool. Like, they got the pool sounds to sound right. That was good.
Yeah,
that was
good. Yeah,
like that part where the drain was getting the kid or whatever. And it did that thing where like the thing flaps forward and back and makes that weird gurgle sound.
Yes.
I was like, that is what that sounds like. Cool.
This is incredibly accurate.
Yeah. It was nice and short. Kind of.
So I won't say tight 90, but 90. Right?
Loose 90.
Yeah, loose 90.
It is certainly a 90. So it gets that for me.
Yeah, that's something.
A loose, soupy 90.
Ew. Gross monster.
Do you guys want to get to some of this wheel stuff?
Oh man, I love me some wheel stuff.
I would love to see some wheel.
All right, the wheel's kind of a mess this week because there's lots and lots of just quotes on it that I wrote down that I forgot what they meant, but I have to ask you guys.
Well, we're gonna have a quote section, or is it gonna be like a whole?
I don't know. We're just gonna see how it goes.
I like that. No. I like that.
Like, for instance, I have a quote from this movie. I spun the wheel and landed on a quote. Must be an early quote, but I don't remember when this comes up. Someone says, "Sink or swim." I guess I swam. You guys remember when that happens?
Oh, yeah. That's when they first see the pool and it's all dirty and filthy. And the mom and dad are reminiscing about their respective histories of pools.
Oh, yes.
Right.
The mom is saying, like, I used to be scared of pools because my dad threw me into the army base pool. And it was sink or swim. I guess I swam because I didn't drown to death as a child. I guess is the end of that sentence.
That's terrible. That
was a weird line.
Terrible. Sink or swim. I guess I swam.
Yeah, it sounds like her dad was not a great guy.
No,
that's how they used to do it. They used to throw you in.
Yeah, that would have solved all the problems.
They used to throw you into a pool and just see like what happened, right?
Apparently,
they might do that.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Oh, yeah. I wanted to ask this question of the three of us. Then you guys grow up with a pool,
like in
your house, like in the backyard.
Closest was the townhouse development we lived in had a pool.
Oh,
that's as close as it got. Yeah.
Did you go a lot?
I did. Yeah. Actually inspired me to get my high school summer job, a lifeguard.
Oh,
how many people you get killed?
How dare you? I never had a recorded save because I was at townhouse pools. It's not going down. It's a lot of like first aid and stuff. It's a lot of cleaning out fucking hair traps. That's
yelling at kids to stop running and stuff.
The worst part of lifeguarding is cleaning out the hair traps. There's nothing worse. Yeah. Nothing worse. I would rather put sunblock on a stranger than clean out a hair trap.
I almost drowned in a public pool once when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
Really?
Would you like to tell that story?
Sink or swim? I guess you swam.
No, I guess somebody dove in and saved me. Not the lifeguard. I guess that's true.
Yeah, I guess somebody swam. What happened?
It's not an interesting story. I got pulled over into the deep end by somebody who thought I would be able to swim, and I couldn't.
Was it Wyatt Russell holding on to you ever so tightly?
That was it.
Did they say look at this cool little boat toy over there, little Chris, go get it or something? Everybody loves that toy.
I loved my boat toy growing up. I loved it so much I would die for it.
Yeah. And everybody in your family would die to get it for you. People would throw themselves into the way of danger to get the boat toy. Hey, remember the movie It?
Yeah.
They do this and that, right? They do the whole
it's in the sewer drain.
Right, but the bit with the drain, I'm like, we're doing It again, except worse because it's not a clown. But yeah. Here's a question that is on the wheel that is related to me. Did either of you guys think that Wyatt Russell was the kid from the beginning?
No.
That was the brother.
No,
we didn't see him.
Didn't cross my mind.
And he had a hospital bed. And I was like, oh, is he trying to get back to the pool to find his long lost sister?
The reason why I didn't think that is because the girl at the beginning is Asian. And
I thought that was to throw us off. I thought it was a misdirect. Because otherwise it's
really good misdirect. Really good
misdirect. Yeah. They could be cool. Adopted, or he's half Asian and it doesn't show that much or something. But
yeah, they could have done so many options.
Cross my mind.
I kind of did think that's what was going to be revealed. So it's good that no one else thought that. What else? All right, I spun the wheel. Landed on, we have a pool.
Oh my god.
Oh, this is one of my favorite line reads.
It's so good. So I think this is Wyatt Russell's line. Is he talking to the doctor?
He's talking to the doctor when the doctor is like, you've made a miraculous recovery. You're doing so well. And the wife is like, oh, well, he gets a lot of swimming exercises. And then Wyatt Russell kind of does a 3/4 turn. He's not looking into the camera. But he gets this really weird smile that sort of peels across his face.
Yep.
And then just goes, we have a pool.
And it's delivered in this way where it's not necessarily I'm better than you, but it 5% reads that way. It's we have a pool.
It's almost a read he knows it's a magic pool at this point.
Yeah.
It's not I exercise a lot in my pool. It's yeah, my pool magically cured me. What can I say?
Is there a type of guy, almost the guy that brings his lizard to the park, who loves to talk about his pool? And you just cannot shut him up about how cool his pool is.
Stereotypical pool guy.
Definitely.
Yeah, that must be
a grill, but with pools. Because that's what he thought. She thought he was. So yeah, this is just one of those pool guys.
It's just a pool dad.
Yeah.
We can't stop him. Shut up.
Speaking of his health, I think there's a version of this movie where he dies from that cut. He's in a coma the whole movie and none of it happened.
I love that.
He got sewage in his giant open hand cut. But he did it was so bad. I was you're going to die from that, dude.
Yeah.
He just put a Band-Aid over it.
And then it healed because of magic pool water.
Even if it didn't, you got to go to the hospital for that.
Yeah, no, you got to get a tetanus shot, my man.
Yeah.
Was that a wish? Did he wish his hand would be better? I
don't know.
I just don't fully understand how the pool healing properties work.
Yeah, and at that point, was he infected with pool?
Was it the cat was sufficient payment to cure MS, but then he also wished to cure the cut on his hand, and that's what needed the child?
Maybe.
Make you think.
It is so weird how many things happen, because we'll find out later that him signing the coin and the kid throwing the coin into the pool kind of activates the wishing well properties of the pool.
Yes.
And like, it doesn't seem like you would need to do that.
No, because that happens after he started recovering. In fact, I think that's the next scene after this.
Right,
so
because he's lifting weights and he doesn't want to go to pool with his son, so he gives him a little quarter.
Right.
Well, the way he talks about the quarter thing is like, I'm going to be there in a minute. I got to go like get changed and stuff. You go have fun while I get ready. Except he never shows up.
Yeah.
Which might be because he's possessed by evil pool, but I don't know.
Yeah, is that him being like, go die in the pool, son? This is the pool goo in my brain is telling me like to set a trap for you, a pool related trap.
What a horrible trap.
Well, it's weird because like this movie posits an evil pool that kills people. Like it's almost like if Jaws was also an evil shark, but like
Jaws 4. Or no, sorry,
exactly.
Jaws 3D.
Yeah, Jaws 3. But like it's like all of these situations where someone almost drowns in the evil pool are also situations that are in real life when people drown in pools. Like it's mostly unsupervised alone pool time, especially at night, and then just like poof, you know, and like it's weird that the magic of evil has to be part of it too. Yeah, it's weird. Would you guys want a pool in your house if you had one? Like, do you think you'd get use out of it?
No, I would never want a pool. Absolutely not.
I wouldn't want it, but if I had it, I would use it.
Sure.
I feel like it's a lot of work.
It's a ton of work.
That's why I wouldn't want it. I don't want to work.
Do you want to be the guy with the pool?
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
That's
like
tough.
There's a moment in this movie where I was like, the moms are hanging out in the kitchen at the pool party, and they're like, "Oh, you better get used to us. This is an annual thing, whether you like it or not." I'm like, you don't get to decide that.
Yeah, how dare you? Like having a pool is like low key, like having a pickup truck. It's like, oh, hey, I'm moving. Get my
or having a guest room in your house. It's only encouraging people.
Yeah.
I want my house to be as uninviting as possible so that nobody wants to go there.
So you just, even if you do get a pool, you have to trick us into thinking it's evil or something.
Ooh, yeah,
so I'll be like, guys, I built it over one of those evil springs.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
all you gotta do,
if you go in, you get a wish, but then somebody has to die.
Well, all you gotta do is fill it with Guinness, and we'll be like, "Oh my god, it's the black goo from the pool. We can't possibly."
Mm-hmm. And then you'll smell it and be like, "Wait, it's not black pool goo, it's Guinness." Oh no, even worse.
Yeah, and also you can't have pets. People that have pools, if you have a cat, do you just let your cat go to the pool?
No.
Is that like pool etiquette, or do you just go like, well, we can't let the cat out now; it might drown in the pool?
If you have an indoor-outdoor cat, well, really, not to be a nerd, but if you have a pool and you have any kind of like animal, kids especially, you really got to fence the pool.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. You got to build a fence around the pool.
Although no fence can stop a cat.
That's true.
That cat's making it into that pool either way, which is why you would put a cover on it or something.
Well,
which they still wouldn't be able to use to stop the pool.
See, the problem is Night Swim can... I'm just referring to the evil pool as Night Swim now. Night Swim can use the cover, but I think a fence beats Night Swim. If there's a fence around that pool, Night Swim isn't like...
I mean, like,
Night Swim... build a wall around the Night Swim.
Yes!
Yeah.
The Night Swim's gonna pay for it.
The Night Swim's gonna pay for it with the little coins.
Yes!
Oh, yeah.
And boats. Coins and boats.
Night Swim seems to be able to breach the pool. So Night Swim would, like, turn on a faucet in the house that would create a big slippery slide that would take you all the way to the pool. Like you would step on it and then go woo, 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 and then right through the gate.
I know there was that scene in the trailer with Wyatt Russell where he's like in the shower and he's like, I am crazy now. Was that Night Swim?
He's dying from that infection he got when he cut his hand. But yeah.
But is that related to the shower? Like, is that shower water Night Swim water, or is that what that is? I
think
sure.
So, because before that, they fuck up the pool, like the water line gets damaged or something, and I think that's the pool escaping into the real world through its magic. So because it also gets
instead of the fake pool world.
Instead of the fake pool world, yeah. Because it also does what I think is the funniest thing I'd ever seen in one of these movies, which is on the wheels. So I don't give a shit. It's when the glass tips over. It has power over all water in the house.
Yes.
Yeah. The pool part is almost incidental because of how many other ways it could have killed them if it wanted. It could drag them into the bath. They're fucked if they take a bath, or they could drag them into the toilet. It's magic. Like,
yeah, it's true.
It could cut that girl's throat when she falls on the broken glass. Like, it doesn't want to, but like, I don't know what this pool is after or what its goals are.
So I realized we didn't put this on the wheel, but we should have. But I guess I'll just ask now.
Yeah.
Nando, could you defeat Night Swim?
I'm a pretty good swimmer, so I would beat all the parts where it's like it's trying to grab you or whatever. I just don't think I'd get in the pool that often. I'm not a huge pool guy. I think if a pool, So here's my one thing that I think would beat Night Swim for me. Why I would never get in this situation.
Okay.
I would Google the house before I got there. Like, I would find out about these pool murder or whatever happened there. Not like going into like the, microfilm and reading about all the historical pool murders, but just that one that was on the news. And then after that, I think I would probably be very suspicious of the pool. So the second it starts doing evil, like, you know what would really happen? The guy would be like, this is a natural pool. The water comes from the spring. And I'm like, so it's filled with fucking bugs? No, I'm not getting in this pool. Not in a million years. And then somebody would be like, no, it's safe. It's nice and clean. And then I'd stick my hand down the drain and big black goo would come out and they'd go, this is exactly what I thought would happen. I'm never getting in. Like, but the problem with this is you can't beat this. There's no like, this isn't like Poltergeist where if you figure out or it's just like Pope's Exorcist where if you have the right magic amulet, you could, purify the pool or whatever.
Right.
And this is a really tough situation to deal with Jesus-wise because you can't even use holy water because it's water. So the holy water would flick right back at you and burn you or something.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know.
Sins.
Yeah, like I guess I would have to, if I'm in the situation where the pool is happening, I would have to trick someone into going into the pool. That's the only way you can get out of this one.
Hey, Jim, you want to take like a 30-minute lap in the pool? It's really good. You'll feel amazing. You want to give it a shot? I think you'll feel great. And then,
Yeah, I'd have a pool party, bring your most annoying friend or something. Like everybody gets, like, or like some, teacher you hate, whatever. Just find somebody. And then whoever gets that person there first, they disappear. So you don't have to deal with them. And also, now I don't get Night Swim. But also, like, the thing with this is, like, I think because we never find out what happened to the woman whose daughter disappeared after that. Like, she seemed to be able to just convince people the daughter didn't exist. Or, like, that would have been what happened. But, like, do you do it again? Or is the pool, is it just a normal pool now that you've used your one Night Swim?
Ooh, that's
or
interesting.
Is it going to ask for more souls?
Does every family only get one Night Swim?
Right.
That's interesting.
Because, yeah, you would expect then, like, the mom would get Night Swimmed next. Like, that would be my biggest problem is I would be like, I think I'm going to get Night Swimmed eventually, even if I'm not the first person.
Right.
Also, I'd never move to Minnesota. That's another thing.
Yeah, huge part of it.
I don't like it where it's cold. So I don't know if I could beat a Night Swim, but I don't think anybody could. I don't think Night Swim has any weaknesses whatsoever.
Yeah, the problem is that the Night Swim is like a child on a playground that it just invents new rules.
Yeah.
Whenever you come up with a way to defeat them.
That's true.
Where it's like, actually, you can't, I possess you and you can't leave. You're addicted to pool.
Yeah, I'd throw the quarter into the fireplace or something, and I'd be like, yeah, it wasn't even about the quarter. That wasn't what I was doing. I was like, what are you talking about? You're a wishing well. Yeah, no, it was actually a goo. You have to do something to the goo that's in you. So to answer the question, no, I couldn't beat the Night Swim pool.
Shame.
Yeah, I don't think anybody could. I'd bring an exorcist. I would try stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think the other thing I would try is just chlorine. Doesn't seem like they ever tried that. But like, I do think this town has bigger problems because the water is evil. I assume the rest of the water in the town is also kind of connected to this.
I think it's only that house's water is evil because it's all the ground well system, right? They have their own ground well. So it's isolated, right? That was my guess.
Like, I mean, all the information we get about this pool is from this one lady. It's not clear to me if she's figured all this out, or if the pool is telling the mom her history through her, or what's going on there.
Right.
You would think for a movie that's built on this very simple, like, you know, like 4-minute long short, it wouldn't have so many rules, but there's like 3 different movies worth of rules happening here.
Yeah, it's true.
With the possession, the goo, and the ancient Native American pool thing or whatever, which we'll get to in more detail. I spun the wheel again, you guys. Landed on one of mine. I just thought this was an insane line. Maybe the most insane line in the movie, but it's not about a pool, so it doesn't really get that much play. Remember when the sister threatens to kill his fish with a Tide Pod?
Yes!
What a fucking lunatic.
Yeah, that's insane behavior.
Listen. You wanna have boys over in your pool and you don't want to get caught? You gotta resort to extreme measures.
That would definitely be where the brother, I'm like, call it. Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
See, stop, tell mom and dad that you did it. I don't think they're going to think the fish did, and they're not going to think I did it. So
the fish saw that TikTok trend and decided to try eating a Tide Pod.
Yeah. Like, also, just what a fucking horrible thing to say to this kid whose cat is missing. Like,
yeah, that's...
I'll kill your other pet. What a monster.
The kid also seemed totally prepared to not narc anyway. It's not like...
Yeah.
It's not like she was like, I'm having someone over. It's not a big deal. And he was like, but mom said we shouldn't have people.
Yeah,
she's
right?
Like, I'm having someone over. It's not a big deal. He's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, like...
I don't think the threat was necessary.
This movie is just too nice to all these people that should be getting eaten by the pool. The boyfriend should be a piece of shit to the kid and be like, fuck you, don't tell your parents, otherwise I'll kill your fish or whatever. And then he shows up early, gets in the pool, dies. And then we never see him again. And everybody's like, what happened to Dave? Oh, I don't know. I guess he was supposed to come hang out with you, right? Yeah, but he never did. And then maybe now the kid is using the pool as a death note. So this is a different situation. But like, it's just this idea that like, it's so boring now that I think about it. Only 2 things get pooled. One is a cat, and one is on purpose. Sacrifice. Like, How many people does Miss Regan kill? You got the dog.
Oh, man.
The dog, the old woman, the kid.
Which kid?
And
yeah.
The bully.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't fully kill him. He runs into the traffic, but yeah, she fucks him up.
Well, I mean, yeah. She knew what she was doing.
There's a few people at the office at the end that she kills.
Yeah, she kills Ronnie Chang and the Ronnie Chang's assistant guy. Yeah, like...
So it's like 5 kills?
Yeah, I think like if I had to give one note to Night Swim, just kill some more guys in your slasher pool movie. Like, more people die in Jaws. And that's so much more complicated because it's a shark. This is just the pool's magic. Yeah.
Should be easy to dust people.
Yeah.
As long as we're in this part of the movie, I also want to bring something up that I found perplexing. Or not perplexing in that it happened, but perplexing in that the movie decided to throw this in for no reason. So the girl is there with the boy. They do their whole thing. She gets spooked. They leave the pool, etc. Nothing actually happens. And then their parents are coming home. She's like, oh, you got to go. And he's like, okay, I'll see you later. And he gives her a kiss. And we pull away from him as he's running away. And she's got this like really confused look like, And then later she's talking to her friends at the pool party. Like, oh yeah, he kissed me when we left. And they're like, oh my God, he giggle. But she's still kind of looking like vaguely concerned. Like, it feels like it's like she's learning something about herself.
Yeah, or he's got some ulterior motive that she's like kind of figuring out over time. Because I also was like, yeah, is this kid trying to like sweet talk her so that he can trick her into letting him throw a big pool party that is the event where presumably all the kids will get eaten? But it's not that. He's just a nice little boy. He's
just a nice little boy. Maybe she's not that into him.
Yeah.
Maybe she's not into boys at all. I mean,
maybe.
Oh.
It feels like she's working through some things.
Yeah, this movie, man, needs to make some choices. Like, about what this kid's deal is, what the brother's deal is, because the brother has no traits. We've talked about the sister a little bit as having this going on.
Trait.
What is this one trait? Swim?
Pathetic.
Yeah, that's true. Not baseball.
Yeah, baseball, no. Not approval of father, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be better at baseball.
But
what did the mom say? Like, he's only good when you're there or something like that?
The dad tells the mom,
oh, right.
he plays better when you're there. He's
mama's boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
dad's not like particular, like, dad's maybe a little thoughtless sometimes, but he's not like actively pushing him or anything.
No, he just wishes his son was better at baseball.
Yeah.
Because that would give him value.
Again, because this movie just doesn't want to commit to anything. You can't have that be his arc of like, he has to learn that his kid rather swim than baseball. But like, he doesn't push his kid far enough. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't like adopt the other kid who likes baseball harder and like
he almost kills
hang out with him. He almost does. Yeah. But it just doesn't work. It's super weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I spun the wheel again, landed on a line. I don't know who says this or when. But one of you gave it to me. There's something wrong with that pool. I think we all had this on our list. Do you remember where this is? Is this after the party?
Is the mom after the party?
Yeah, I think so. I think she's like determining, like kind of figuring out that the pool is evil.
And she's like, there's something wrong with that pool.
There's something wrong with that pool.
And then he says that pool's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. As like the result.
Better than marrying you, better than my kids.
Better than my baseball career, better than the other parts of this house.
DJ, if you found a magic pool that cured your degenerative neurological condition, do you think you wouldn't be like, on the rank of things that happen to me, marriage, kids, etc., magic pool's pretty good.
Pretty good. That's true. I think what I would start going is like, you guys got to throw some wishes into this pool and get your cat and throw the cat in, get some stuff out of it. Cause like, I don't want to be the only one that's profiting off of pool.
How would that work if he wished for the cat back? Would that work then?
Ooh, no, I don't think so. I think,
I think it ate the cat.
So no more cat?
But you'd have to get new cats. Like you just show up with an army of cats and just chuck them all in. How many cats does it take to cure this? 15? All right, I guess that's what we're doing.
Do you think? I think at the end when she's saving her son, there should have been a little cat ghost also reaching for her.
Yeah.
In addition to all the human ghosts.
That would have been so great. Oh my God. Or the cat ghosts could have helped. The cat and her would have had to hate each other earlier in the movie, but then the cat could heroically like scratch at some ghost that's trying to kill her and then salute her as she floats back up to the top.
The cat's the one with the coin that lets her know she's swimming the wrong way.
Yeah. And do it like the Toons is the cat that can drive sketch from SNL. Like just a little cat hand holding a coin comes from off screen and hands it to her. And then she's like, oh, thank you. I never understood it, but now I know you're cool.
Perfect.
Yeah, like, man, it's got to be so tough. Do you guys remember the word? It's the phrase that is the magic phrase for the pool, by the way? This was a weird one.
The name that the old lady gives it?
No, there's like a weird phrase that Wyatt Russell kind of chants in a hypnotic state.
Oh, this is going to
I don't remember it. Do you?
I do. I have it written down. Okay, it's so cool in the deep water. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Insane.
It's script, man. Like,
that's not like a thing people say about pools.
Nope.
And it doesn't come up later either, right?
Nope.
Like,
it's not like a thing she looks in a book and like, oh my gosh, that's an ancient, curse from Wales, and then looks it up. Oh, they had this pool. Yeah, just something he came up with.
Or if like the kid said it and it's like, oh no, now he's possessed. But if that were like a call sign, like that meant you were possessed. Or the woman, if the woman said it, the old woman who
right, yeah.
Stupid, man. It's so fucking stupid.
I have an acknowledgement, something I have to say, which I wrote down in my notes at this point, which is just the word pool is a funny word, Cool. Even if they say like the pool's killing us, we have to run away from the pool. It's a silly word for this.
It's a silly, it has a silly sound to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's like two O's.
Pool.
I think the puss sound in general is also one of the sillier sounds.
pool. Hey, remember when the mom is swimming early in the movie and the cat's like scared of the pool because cats can detect ghosts?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a universal horror movie thing. So the cat's like running away and she's like, pussy.
Yeah. Maybe she did hate the cat. Maybe that was an arc that got scrapped later in the game. But yeah, she's really mean to that cat.
I mean, maybe she just thought of this sick pun and wanted to get it in.
Yeah.
It is super rude.
That was a wild line, now that I think about it.
The script writers on this were doing work. They tried their best.
And like I said, they used every single inch of the pool for stuff. The diving board was part of it. Yeah. The big floaty was part of it. But at a certain point, it's like no matter how many murders don't happen in the pool, you have to have some murders happen. Like I need a guy's head to get cut off by the diving board or something. Like,
ooh, yeah.
I need the pool to start getting creative with how it kills these guys.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Because you're right. It was the same thing every time. Someone would bob in and out of the pool and they think they see a ghost and then they get up and there'd be no ghost and they get back in and then ghost up and like,
Yeah.
But we need like, I'm trying to think of what else it could be. You ever seen those things? The like automatic pool cleaner, like little robots?
Yeah.
Maybe one of those could have strangled someone or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be clever.
Like, the way that they did it with the top, like the pool cover almost was like the pool is evil.
Yeah.
They were fighting with that cover too. Like, with their hands.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
How exactly it was magic.
Did the pool control that, by the way? Like, how did that work?
Evil magic.
Like, yeah, evil water magic. But like, it knows that thing is a pool thing, right? Yeah. Like, because it's not wet. I mean, maybe it's a little wet, but like, it's not like the pool could just also pick up the car. You know, it can't control all of technology.
Right.
It has to be
sure
something
that it can't?
Maybe it could. Yeah, that's true. If it's got like some sort of water resistant feature or cup in it, then if you throw the cup onto the console, the car can drive maybe. But yeah, like that's not even underwater. That thing it's just like a thing. Could it also have like the pool chairs chase you around and stuff? Probably.
Well, I suppose it could, in theory, just be pulling it from the tarp itself, and it's just turning because that's connected. But then the mom kicks off the handle, and that stops it from being wound out.
Yeah.
So it is using the handle. We know definitively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah, this movie has too many rules and too few rules because we just don't understand what's going on. Like with a lot of this stuff.
We've kind of talked about the actual what's going on, but yeah, Spin the Wheel lands on, I think, one of Diggins is the ancient Native American wishing well, which is like the end game kind of explanation for what this all is. Right. You want to explain this?
Yeah, so the possessed lady who was the mom of the lady of the little girl at the start of the movie is like telling the mom, the Carrie Condon mom, what the pool is, which she apparently knew the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And is like, there was a spring, wishing wells, there was a spring like that granted wishes. And I'm like, this doesn't seem that similar. You're not talking about them throwing coins in or anything. And also wishing wells don't usually kill people.
Yeah.
But whatever, it's an evil wishing well. And she's like, the ancient people here worshipped it as a god. I'm like, that's not part of wishing wells either.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah. These rules are all incorrect.
And like, I don't know. It felt like the escalation of the like we built the house on a Native American burial ground sort of thing. It's like we built your pool on top of a Native American magic spring.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just silly. It's just a silly thing.
Yeah, super silly.
It is silly.
It feels unnecessary.
And it's also silly because, like, if this movie was just about an evil pool that was evil because of the kid that died in it in the first one, like, because like what it kind of seems like going into this movie is the Ring situation, where there was a kid who was abused or something and died in the pool, and their spirit haunts the pool, and that's the whole thing. But yeah, it's connected to everything, religion, like the idea of wishing wells. I also kind of got like a little bit of Fountain of Youth from what they were describing as like the history of the evil pool. Like it just, it does feel it's too busy.
It should have just been ghosts.
She does talk about how like, oh, people would use the pool for health. And I'm like, so hold on. Does the pool only grant health related wishes? Because the only two wishes you know about are the sick kid and the dad with MS.
And do you have to swim in the pool to get the benefits of those? Or can you just own the pool and then like it would cure your broken leg or whatever? But like it feels like you need to be exposed to pool. The pool has to like get in your body.
You got to at least slice your hand open, reaching it way too far down the drain. I mean, that's at least partially his fault. He's like,
oh, hell yeah.
Bicep deep in that drain.
He's rooting around in there. Like, what have we got in here?
Why are you even doing that yourself?
No gloves. Call the weird reptile guy before, right?
I was going to say, I did have a funny like jump cut moment where I watching that and I'm like, why are they doing this themselves? Why don't they hire a guy? And then it cuts to them having hired the guys.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, here we are.
Yeah,
Someone
I mean, like,
listened.
It's just so gross, that pool. It like you kind of figured the black water would gurgle up and then like really pretty water and then the black goes away, but it doesn't. It's just black water and they call guys and like, let's make this pool work. I'd be like, well, we're never going to use it because that water's in there. Even if that just has been sitting, like that's what the spring is. I don't know. I don't know enough about pools. But I do know enough about, I spun the wheel about one of Diggins' lines about the Christian boy. Do you want to say that one?
Yeah. So while the two girls, I talked about this already, this scene where the daughter tells her two friends about how the boy kissed her.
Mm-hmm.
And what I left out was their specific reaction where one of them says, I actually think it's hotter that he's Christian. It's like forbidden fruit, you know?
Yeah. What the hell was that?
I don't know.
Like, there's a lot to unpack here.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Are you saying it's hotter that he's like devout? Or are you saying that the three of you are not Christian? Is that in the sense that you're not religious? Or do you follow a different religion? And like, who's the forbidden fruit in this situation? Are you the forbidden fruit? Or is she the forbidden fruit? Because he's the one who's supposed to not do things. Unless your parents have told you you can't date Christian boys.
Mm-hmm.
That would be so interesting. You can stay away from those Christian boys.
I mean, like,
can't be trusted.
Wyatt Russell doesn't strike me as a particularly bigoted dad in any specific way. But if I had to pick the thing he's bigoted against, that would be the last thing I would pick. It's just Christians. That's a classic baseball player trope of guy who hates Christians.
Well, you know, Nando, Christians are the only group it's okay to persecute in Biden's America.
That's true. That is true. That line also is weird. It's weird that this guy is here at all. Like, and just genuinely wants to kiss her because this family just moved to this place. Like, it's really weird how quickly this part develops.
But also, like, at some point after this, she talks about how they've been there for months.
Yeah.
So, like, it has been a while.
That's true. Yeah, this kid needed to be shitty and the pool needed to eat him. Or it needed to try to eat him, but then choke on his cross or something like that. And then, like, we learned some rules of pool.
That would have been
right? Like, they could find that in the drain and it's like, oh, it can't eat holy things. But... yeah.
Or like the black goose is floating in the pool, but there's a clear spot around where the cross is floating.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, aha, the holy power of Christ repels this evil pool.
And maybe like we didn't realize this. Maybe like the cat's name is also like, you know, Gabriel or something. And like that it hasn't been fully said out loud, but it's like this pool just hates religion. And that's how
cat's name is Cider.
Yeah, what a weird name for a cat.
Although now that I'm thinking about it, if this was how the movie went, then it would be a movie about how a Native American god is evil and can be defeated with the healing power, the redeeming power of Christ.
Oh, well, sure. I mean, you definitely get rid of the Native American thing. It would have to be a Christian evil pool god as well, which makes sense because Jesus is
pool.
And Jesus does a lot of water stuff, you know? Like maybe this is, maybe, you know what, they'd open up the Bible and there'd be like a picture of him walking on water, and then the evil, like the bishop who they bring over to bless the pool is like, they say the rumor was that Jesus walked on the water, but he was really being repelled by the evil of the river or whatever.
Listeners, Nando is trying to turn Night Swim into the Pope's exorcist.
Yeah.
That is what he is trying to do.
He would be good for this.
Should.
Yeah.
They should have. It should have been the Pope's Exorcist too. Night Swim.
Well, there we go. Yeah, the
It's
Pope's Exorcist pool.
Yeah, the Pope's Exorcist pool boy, or the Pope's pool boy, or something like that. That would be pretty funny too, if like he takes like a little reed or whatever and dips it in some holy water, flicks it at the pool, and then the pool flicks some water back at him, and it's like, oh my god, I can't break the water barrier with my water. Useless. I'd also like to see Russell Crowe swimming around. That'd be fun.
Oh god,
he would
funny. Really get into it, like in a gross way.
Be great.
Like
he's a good actor.
He's a great actor.
Yeah, let's talk about this child sacrifice thing. I spun the wheel, landed on one of, I think, DJ's maybe Diggins's premeditated child sacrifice.
That's Diggins.
That was mine.
That's you? Okay.
In this scene with the woman explaining everything, she reveals that she was well aware that her daughter was drowning out in the pool, and in fact arranged the whole scenario and locks her son in so he can't go save his sister or something.
Yep.
And she was possessed by Pool at the time, but like we've said, it's not clear. She's been possessed by Pool ever since? Is she just possessed by Pool forever now?
I think if you say the word pool around her, the water starts possessing her. Like it starts running weird. But that means part of it has to be like the deal is you have to have a water fixture in every room. Because she also has that fountain that's just going in the fancy living room.
That I guess can be controlled by Pool / Night Swim, I guess.
That's the thing. It's any water at all, including probably the water in your body.
You know, that we're 70% water. We can't fight the evil water. It's in us.
That's why Nando couldn't defeat it.
That's why I couldn't defeat it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd have to do that like kind of men's health like cleanse where, you know, Ryan Reynolds doesn't drink water for 5 days. And then that's how you would be strong enough, dehydrated enough to fight the evil pool. I mean, kind of. They are apparently when they take those pictures for like the cover of Men's Health, they have to like prop up the actors who are about to pass out because it's just really hard to get you to that. Because they don't have any water in their body.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's it felt a little like crazy to me that this woman was like, yeah, I killed my daughter and I don't regret it for a second.
But I don't think it's her. I think it's Night Swim. Like her, like Night Swim is using her as a husk. Like that's how I read it.
I think you're right, even though the movie should be what Diggins has said because it's more interesting.
Right.
And like, it's more of a thing. But I think part of it is the movie White Russell can't be the bad guy in this.
Yeah, that makes
mostly
sense.
because he's a nice baseball player who got MS and whatever, and overall a fine dad. But like, they can't like have him be so corrupted by the pool that he decided to make a deal with the pool. He has to also be kind of possessed by it. I would love it if in the second one of these, the bad guy was this evil son.
No, that's a take. Or like that's an idea. That's like
the senator's son who like signs a new law into government. Everyone has to have a pool or something. And you're like, oh no, Night Swim's going to get everywhere.
We're changing the water source of this town so that it's all drawn from this one spring.
Oh no.
It's illegal to fill in a pool and not fill it with your black goo. And also, I mean, in America, I feel like we probably there's whole cities where the water is pretty much black goo at this point. So, you know, maybe we're all getting Night Swim and we don't even know it.
Oh no, are we Night Swim?
Maybe we are.
The real Night Swim was lead the whole time.
Oh no.
Yeah, I want to spin the wheel again. I do want to say there's another line in this that's really weird that someone says. Remember the line, "The water will sleep again"? This is a line that mom says. It's super weird.
Yeah, once it eats somebody in exchange for the wish, then it goes back to sleep.
Yeah.
It puts on its little nightcap and goes honk shoe, honk shoe.
Honk shoe, honk shoe.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Remember when the water gets out of the pool and starts doing stuff in the house, like killing the girl's phone? She can't dial on the phone because there's water on the phone. That was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Night Swim is so smart. It can do anything.
You can't even use our technology to beat Night Swim. The glass tips over. Yep. Yeah, it's pretty good. But the best line in this movie, the only line where it actually kind of approaches Mithrigan, is when Wyatt Russell is trying to catch his daughter. And you guys remember what he says?
I don't.
He's going through the garage saying Marco,
pool
talk, and then she doesn't say anything, and he says, "You're supposed to say polo." Right as he gets about to kill her. That's insane for this character to do.
Yeah.
That's him. That's not the pool talking. The pool says weird cryptic shit like the water will sleep again. This is Wyatt Russell. And
I don't imagine that the Night Swim even knows what Marco Polo is.
I mean, it's gotta kind of know because it played with the girl. It tricked her with Marco Polo for a while into thinking the boy was in the pool, right?
Yeah. So where did it learn Marco Polo from?
Probably from Marco Polo himself or something. I don't know how he died, but probably in some sort of magic pool incident or something.
I mean, unless this spring was airlifted from the old world to the new world.
I think that's what it was.
Which, I mean, obviously.
I would imagine the collective memory of the pool is whatever the most recent guy that got eaten by the pool is. So if that little girl in the 90s knew what Marco Polo was, he could use it. But
okay.
I feel like then you want the Marco Polo scene to be him playing with the kids in the beginning of the movie, right? So then we're doing that again, but with him, and he's the bad dad. But like, there's just no, I don't know. This part of the script is bad.
So wait, if the last thing the pool knew was from 1992, what do you think Night Swim comes back up? It's like, how's that Michael Jackson kid doing? He was really blowing up.
Yeah.
No. Oh my gosh.
You're going to watch my favorite movie, Home Alone 2, featuring Donald Trump, the guy who owns a building in New York. I'm Night Swim,
Home Alone
from
1992.
Home Alone 2 Lost in New York.
That was movie. My favorite.
Yeah, actually, but he would like the third one because I think the third house has a pool. The first Home Alone house.
Third one was definitely not out in 1992, though.
That's true.
Is it possible?
In fact, I don't even know if the first one or the second one was, excuse me. I think the first one's like 1991. So, yeah.
I got one. How's Jeffrey Epstein doing?
Would have loved to know about that. Yep.
Yes, I was the chilled spring water on his island.
Mm-hmm.
It was the only water evil enough for Jeffrey Epstein.
Yes.
I mean, that would have been so fucking funny if at one point we had like a conspiracy theorist who had like a picture of like all the evils of water. So like it would be like the fucking cops spraying protesters with a big fire hose. And, like, see, water has been involved in all the like people drowning a woman in a big rock in the Salem or whatever because they think she's a witch.
It could have been
Noah's Ark.
It could have been the pool cleaning reptile guy.
Yeah.
He could have been like, I knew there was something off about this.
Mm-hmm.
We're tempting fate with water. We're reptiles.
Yeah, Nando, in the Pope's Exorcist version of this movie, he's like, everybody think that the God descended the flood, but actually it was the evil water. He tried to drown the world.
There's always been the fight between God and water.
Yeah.
Why do you think? Why do you think
that Jesus turned the
walked
water to a wine? Mm-hmm. Because he was trying to save the wedding from the evil water.
I was going the other way. Why do you think Jesus walks on top of it? He can't swim in it. He must walk on top of the water.
Yeah.
It's a reverse vampire. He's too good to be underwater.
Jesus would have survived the cross if that little girl didn't give him some water when he was stuck on the cross. He was just about to get better, and then the devil was like, let's use water to cross him up real good.
The little girl gives the water, is like, Satan sends his regards.
No! I mean, if they were doing a weird water things of history, they'd probably want to get that Australian Prime Minister, his picture or something. But then they'd have to acknowledge who he is and that he exists in this universe. How many of these horror movies have water in them? Is it like, I feel like this has got to be a thing in more of them than we're like, it's like pools are pretty dangerous.
I feel like in all the Nun movies, the monster's always like just soaked.
Well, there's the Curse of La Llorona, which is its own thing, right? That's like a water spirit monster thing. Or
oh, right. Yeah.
That's La Llorona.
Well,
it's 2 L's.
That's right. La Llorona, because I suck at pronouncing words correctly and sound just so white when I try to do it. It's not good. But I think that's a story of a woman who is drowned and her ghost comes back for revenge or something like that. You got The Ring. The Ring is a water thing. Mm-hmm. It's more of a TV thing, but there's a lot of water involved in the well at the end.
She's always soaking wet. Yeah.
Yeah, because she was killed and thrown into a well, or maybe trapped just in
thrown
a well.
into a well to die.
Yeah. Like that's probably the highest profile water. And then there's Friday the 13th, which is a lake.
Oh,
Camp Crystal Lake.
True.
Yeah.
And sometimes the lake is more important than other times. Sometimes Jason's body is like chained underneath the lake.
Yeah. And then even like Freddy vs. Jason, they have a big fight at the end in the lake. He gets thrown into the lake.
How is this movie not like a lake house and there's a lake that's magic and because like pool is so confined and lame, but like a lake can be the lake can have fog and stuff, right? You can't cover or gate a lake, but you can do all that to a pool. So I take this and I make it a lake, and maybe that's better.
One of those British bogs that boys have been doing flips on top of lately.
They love that. I have seen that. Seems like fun, but also I think I'd hurt myself and I'd be like, why am I not doing it right? And I'm like, you're not believing in the bog enough.
These are also all places you can do night swim. Like in the actual sense of going for a night swim. This, and also it's like more mysterious.
Well, and like, wasn't that what FDR did? I believe part of his like deal later in his life was that he went to a specific like lake or like a spring or something and swam there because it was supposed to have properties that kind of not like magic. I don't think he thought it was magic, but like they thought there was like something going on. Yeah. So like you could definitely make the case that this character's like, they're like, oh, you should move out there because there's cool hot springs or whatever. And they go to the wrong town. They go to one with the evil hot springs. And then, just it makes things worse.
This one requires sacrifice.
You guys, I think we can do a night swim. Like they could fix it. Night swim 2 could be good if they go to a house. I guess they would never go to another house with a pool, right? Well, I guess they still live in one.
Yeah, but like they wouldn't go this one.
They wouldn't go to one with an active pool. But maybe they would go on vacation. I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
And like they'd go to a place and it'd be like, you didn't tell us there was water here. Why? Are you scared of water? I guess we'll be okay. And then, people start swimming and things go wrong.
People start getting their wishes granted. And you're like,
now that I think about it, like Get Out also has a very similar visual to this movie.
That's true.
Water related, people swimming in the thing. Yeah.
They love their derivative water.
They love water over at Blumhouse.
Well, we evolved out of the water.
That's true.
But in some part of our reptile brains knows we're not supposed to be there.
Do you think that guy says that about every pool he goes to? Hoping to get a bite from someone? Like, 100%. Wow, you're really smart. I bet that's probably what happened. Yeah. Do you think it's ever worked?
I don't think he would keep doing if it had worked.
I think he saw a hot guy do it once and thinks that's what he's got to do. You know, that this is going to work. I have to do what John was doing. Little does he know, it was not the pool mysticism that was what was getting everybody really interested in John or something.
Right.
I think that's what's happening.
It's that John was just really authentically like into his hobbies. Like when he talked about them, he had a real passion that people could feel, and they responded to that.
That's right. I don't think we'll get another one of these, but if we did, what would Night Swim 2 be? Like, do you think you'd bring Wyatt Russell back from the dead or something?
He's the new Night Swim.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Damn it.
Or like, but like he can't be bad again.
Well, but it's not him. It's the pool wearing his face.
Yeah, like that.
But then nobody would trust him. Like, it wouldn't be fun.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, wait,
I think it's got to be a thing like we were saying before, where it's like a local ordinance has changed the source of the town's water to this spring, and now everybody's getting night swimmed.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like this family would really, really actively avoid pools, but we'd have to set up a couple of situations where they just are like, oh, that's a pool, that's a pool. Like, maybe when the kid swims, maybe the boy starts swimming because when he swims, he could see his dad in like the water or something like that. And then that's like a thing. And maybe he can night swim from the other side. They could save him in the end, like the upside down. Yeah. I think it's crazy that they beat him up with a bat.
That was wild.
They beat the MS back into him.
Yeah.
Because he is, after he vomits up the pool, he is like, you know, having trouble walking and seems to be suffering from the condition again.
Yeah. It's pretty fucked. It reminds me of Signs, speaking of horror movies about water, where the bat is used to kill the thing. But yeah, this movie's weird. I don't know. It's not very good.
No, it's not. But it's fun to talk about.
Yes.
It is fun to talk about. Were there any other things that we haven't talked about in this movie?
I don't think so.
Oh, wait. Sorry. I didn't do this one on the wheel. I missed this one. DJ Michael Bay's Barely Legal Tale. Let's talk about that.
Right. You guys said you didn't catch this, but I felt like in the scene where the girl is doing the Marco Polo and is swimming around with the guy, the Christian, like there's a bit
Christian boy.
Christian boy. There's just like a lot of butt shots. I felt like, I don't know. It just, and Michelle also pointed out too, so this isn't me being weird. She's like, I feel like there's a lot of butt shots going on. And I'm like, oh my God, please be over 18. Please be over 18. And yeah, she's like 20 or 21 or something like that. But it's like, just felt unnecessary. But I guess you guys didn't catch it. So like, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I was just looking respectfully and not letting my eyes move towards profane places.
No, the camera was just there. All right, unless you were looking at water, but there was like nothing else.
Well, Diggins was trying to find the cat. He knew the cat was in there somewhere.
Oh, right.
So like, where did he go?
I wanted to save the cat, because I wanted everyone in the movie to know that I was a good guy.
Yeah.
I just didn't. I do think part of what I think was interesting about this movie is it's just not a very sexy movie in general. And maybe that's why I didn't read that way, because I was just like, I don't know. It's just filming a girl in a pool, but not in a way that's like, the pool isn't also trying to, like, that's the scene we were missing, is Wyatt Russell goes down to the pool, has a nice swim, comes home, and then, like, you know, throws Carrie Condon onto the bed, and what got into you? I just had a great swim in the pool, honey. I love it so much. You're a different man since you started getting in that pool.
Hell yeah.
And then we see it comes out black.
Oh, no. Yeah. Just a normal pool thing, sweetie.
It's just chlorine. He's spending enough time in chlorine.
I'm just gonna drag myself back to the pool real quick.
Oh God.
You hang here. Oh man.
Also, she should have opened her eyes when playing Marco Polo, because she was like so scared to find the guy.
Yeah, especially when it's like, if you do fish out of water and the guy's like, no, I'm in the pool, and then you do Marco Polo a couple more times and he stops saying anything, it's like, well, you're fucking cheating then. Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Where are you? It's like, open your eyes. Like, what do you care so much?
I mean, they take it very seriously in this town.
Apparently.
This is like the Footloose of this is the town where like it's kind of like karate in the Karate Kid, where it's like that town. They just fucking love Marco Polo. And yeah, there's something wrong with that pool.
There's something wrong with that pool. Wait, I think I can't decide though. Is the pool a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's good in general, I think maybe the problem is these people did so many things that it accidentally reversed the polarity of the pool. But if they only did one of them, it would have been fine. Okay. Cat dies in a pool. The pool's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then it gives the dad no more MS. And he's like, thank you, pool. And then they're good. But because they also flicked the coin into the pool, that did a double wish backflip. And then the pool had to make him evil or something. Like all the competing mythologies that are secretly underneath the pool couldn't coexist.
So is this evil pool where we get the idea of wishing wells from in the popular consciousness? Is that supposed to be the idea?
I think so. Yeah. Even though that's not what they were using the wishing well thing for. He was diving for coins. But I do think in this public consciousness, like in this universe, that's supposed to be where this myth came from. Ancient pools. Which maybe that is what it is. I don't know. It's probably something really dumb. Maybe there were
wish-granting evil springs back in the day.
I mean, I can tell you right now. Now that's it. Just you would put coins into the well because there were spirits that lived there that kept the well clean. So you would have to pay them. It seems like that was what people thought a wishing well was. And it's a Celtic, Norse, and German tradition. Oh, and Roman tradition.
All things that were there in ancient Minnesota.
Yep, that's right. Yeah. I don't know, Night Swim. What a movie. 2024, off to a great start. Thank you, Strike. And
yeah, right.
By thank you, Strike, I mean thank you, producers, for continuing the strike way too long.
I mean, listen, guys, this was coming out in January, no matter what.
That's true. Yeah, this just needed one more rewrite, just one pass, Notes from a good screenwriter could have fixed this, but they didn't have time. It's yeah. It is what it is. Do you guys want to get to our classic segment?
Yeah, let's get to our classic segment.
That.
All right, let's recommend some things. DJ, do you have anything to recommend to the fine people?
I have a couple things to recommend. So, first thing, Nando, did you already recommend the Pete Holmes Netflix comedy special?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, you did. I watched it too. It was great. Yeah. It's called I'm
New
Not
Year's
For Everyone.
Eve is stupid. That was, I learned that from that comedy special.
Yeah. The one I showed Michelle that like she was dying at was he talks about like his daughter's like speak and say and like how like their version was shitty, but now it's like so great now, except like they couldn't get a cat, which it's great. Go watch it. You'll love it. So I'm gonna recommend something else, but it's mean because you can't get it, but I still think I should recommend it because you never know. So I'm going to recommend another board game. It's been a big year for board games already. Been looking at a lot. What I'm going to recommend is a board game called Ra, based on the Egyptian god. That's like why it's called Ra. And it's made by 25th Century Games. It's developed by, Diggins told me, Reiner Knizia. Jesus. All right. And it's essentially it first came out in 1999, but there have been like several iterations of like reprints and updates over the years. So the last one was in 2016. It's like a blue box that says Ra on it with yellow, and it's the Egyptian god Ra. It is a bidding game where you draw tiles, and the tiles kind of give you certain scoring criteria, kind of like Seven Wonders, because you're kind of trying to draft certain tiles, but the way you draft the tiles is you bid on them with tokens that you have to bid. And there's kind of different ways you get these and how you trade for them. And it's basically an auction. And then highest one gets it, you pay your token, and then you get all the stuff. And you're trying to score and be the best boy. I had so much fun with this game. I played with 3 other people, including Michelle, and I loved it. I'm like, oh my God, Michelle, we need to buy this game. And then the guy I brought it was like, you can't get it anywhere. It's nowhere. So I'm recommending a game you can't get unless like maybe your board game store has it, or maybe you can find it on eBay, or there's like
maybe you make a wish on your evil pool.
That's true. Go do a night swim, and then maybe you could get the board game Ra.
Would you say that Ra is so good it would be worth sacrificing one of your children to the evil pool?
I wouldn't say that, but maybe Wyatt Russell would say that. But I don't want to speak for him. But I you know, you can play it on Board Game Geek. You play it on Tabletop Simulator. It's like that's the way you can play it. Friends get online. It's like it's pretty easy concept enough where there's a billion YouTube tutorials on how to play. Just make sure you're looking at the 2016 version, and then you watch that. And then there's not a lot of components, which is good. I mean, drawing the tiles is probably a bit annoying. Like I haven't tried this on Tabletop Simulator. I'm just saying this is something you can try. But I loved it, and I realize it's mean to recommend a game that you can't get, but I can't get it either, so I also feel bad. So I guess I'm making you also feel bad by recommending it, just like a certain football team might have made me feel bad. And I don't know how the jinxes or reverse jinxes work, but I'm upset about it. So I guess, you know, whatever. I'm sad. So it's fine. Football's stupid anyway. But so I'm recommending the board game Ra, a game that's amazing, but you can't play. So I guess, you know, you try Tabletop Simulator. Diggins, how about you?
I watched a movie that you are able to watch if you feel like it.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I believe last year I had recommended Priscilla as the anti-Elvis.
Yeah.
Actually good movie. Well, I reached back further in Sofia Coppola's oeuvre. And I watched a little movie called Lost in Translation.
Oh.
Which was like her second movie, I think. Not counting short films. Which is about Bill Murray and very new to acting, relatively, Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
As like 2 guests in a hotel in Tokyo who kind of just feel very disconnected from the world around them, and sort of their relationship as they meet each other in this hotel. It's very like open-ended and like very kind of what's what I'm looking for. Subtle, I guess. It's very much a movie presenting you with a bunch of vignettes of like the 2 of them meeting and spending time together, and then ending on a pretty ambiguous note. But I think for all that, it is like I think it does kind of capture something about that sort of like real loneliness that you get even when you're like with other people, where you feel like disconnected from the people around you. I should say, it was a 2002 movie, or 2003, I think. And it even got some criticism for this at the time, and 20 years have not improved it. It is very much a movie where there are going to be some scenes that are just like, isn't it funny how Japanese people are different from us? And it's like, okay, I mean, I get that this didn't come from a place of malice, Sofia Coppola, but it's not amazing. So some of that has not aged well and is a little hard to get through. But I think when you get past that, if you can get past that, which, I mean, if you don't want to, then that's fair. Scarlett Johansson and Bill Murray's performances are really good. Bill Murray is like doing that effortlessly charming thing that like he's kind of that he's known for, but he's like putting it to like a different purpose of not just like a fully comedic performance. That I think this is like one of the first times that he did that. Like he's done it a few times now, But this was like the big one where like a bunch of critics were like, wow, he can like really like not just be funny, but like really act in a big way. So yeah, that's a Lost in Translation. Pretty good movie. What about you, Nando? Anything to rec?
A couple, one or two things. Would you say Bill Murray's better in that or Ant-Man 3? It's Krylar.
Nice, I mean, nice. That's hard to say. I mean, Krylar was such an instantly classic character.
Yeah, we all liked him a lot. So, yeah. I mean, maybe this was like the person, who made Ant-Man, Kevin Feige, I guess maybe, or one of the producers saw Lost in Translation. They were like, we got to get this guy for Krylar when we get ready.
Bill Murray's the only person who can pull off the line where he tells Michael Douglas that he's been cooked.
Yeah. It's very Krylar. So things I've watched, not speaking of cucked, but kind of. Well, yeah, no, for sure. I got caught up on a few things that I've been watching. Finished Murder at the End of the World. I like it. I don't think it's that great. Like it's got more of campiness than I kind of expected. I took it very seriously initially, but I'm like in the end, I think I was supposed to take it as more kind of like a dumber version of Knives Out, but I liked it. I also caught up on The Curse this week. There's one more episode, so I'm not fully not done with it, but man, that show is insane.
Isn't it?
I love crazy. It. Yeah, it's great. I think Emma Stone is great. And Benny Safdie's really good. I mean, they're all good. No, Nathan Fielder has one super weird moment in this week's episode that is like the standout weird moment, but like every other episode had usually a standout weird moment from either Benny Safdie or Emma Stone. So like they're they're pulling a lot of the weight there. But I love that show. Speaking of shows about native culture being influenced by other things and whatever, I've watched 3 out of 5 episodes of The Echo Show. Not a humongous fan.
I've heard just kind rough.
It is what it is. And like, it's clear that they weren't like, you guys are going to love Echo. They were like, listen, we filmed Echo, so we might as well put it out there. Like, that is something that would be good to show. And if people would get really mad at us if we Batgirl it. But, and there's parts of it that are good. Like, it's the acting's okay. Some of the fight scenes are good. But I do just think it definitely feels like something that would be interesting to watch if it were longer and maybe tighter in story ways. But like, yeah, it's hard to say. Like, the acting seems good. It just, you fly through stuff. The first episode is mostly Hawkeye, which I get because you have to set that up. And like, that's the conceit of this character. But it's weird. So I wouldn't say everybody's got to rush out to that one. But if you're home and you have 5 hours to kill and you want to watch, that, you can.
How many times does somebody ask her if she killed Kingpin and then she looks at them seriously and doesn't respond?
A couple of times somebody does that to her about another thing. Like, there's a lot of people she'll sign them like, I need your truck. And then they'll go, are you going to use it to do something illegal? And she'll just do a look. And then they'll go, oh, all right, I guess. And like, yeah, it's not, I don't know. It's weird. It's also weird. I'm not against changing superpowers and stuff, but it is very strange how they decided the choices they made about it. But speaking of things that are good, I finally, after I think Diggins' recommendation and definitely recommendation of another friend, I watched May December, which I loved. That is like one of my favorite movies of this year. It is
of 2024.
That's right. Yeah, it's right up there with Night Swim. Well, I technically watched it in 2024, I guess. Speaking of movies about pool parties, or not really pool parties, barbecues, I guess. I don't know. That's
how you barbecue in that movie.
Yeah, there's a barbecue, and they barbecue in this movie in Night Swim as well. Yeah, it's really funny. It's not like it's sad, kind of, but like it's never a bummer.
If you think about it, it's really, really depressing.
Well, right. And you go in knowing that, or at least by the 20-minute mark, when you get enough of the details to put everything together, it does get really depressing. And then right at that moment, Natalie Portman just turns everything on its head and decides to be really, really interesting and weird. And then that helps you get through all the rest of it. I liked everybody in it a lot, but Natalie Portman was like
You liked all the characters as people. You thought they were good people who did good things.
I thought I did think those people that mailed their poop in the mail, they weren't good, but everybody else was good. All the other decisions made and stuff were good.
What did you think of the Riverdale kid?
I thought he was good. I can't remember. I think he left Riverdale very early and was replaced by another kid, or he was the kid that got replaced. I cannot remember what version of Brad he was, but he was good. I want to say he was in Riverdale. Was he also in another movie we've done? Am I crazy? Maybe not. Oh no, he was. He was in Bad Boys for Life. He's one of the hot young guys that comes in and like is part of their new crew. So having quite a year. And he's the racer in Poker Face.
Oh no! Oh yeah,
the stock car racer. Yeah.
Also, he is the one who replaced the original Reggie.
He's the second Reggie. Okay.
He's the second Reggie.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, he was good. I liked him in this a lot. And yeah, it's very good. I will say, like, for people that think it's a movie about two sad lesbians, which is what the poster tells you it is by having them two stand next to each other and it being called May December, it's not that. And also, if you're like, is this movie silly or is it serious? Because immediately you think it's serious, but then it starts doing silly things and it's like, it's kind of silly. Like, and that I think really makes it, watchable and interesting. In a way that I don't think it would be unwatchable if it wasn't also kind of silly, but it just gives it something that you've never seen before that I really appreciated. So yeah, I think that's it as far as recommendations for me. Next week, what are we doing?
Why, we're doing the beekeeper.
Doing the beekeeper. That's right.
I'm going to keep you some bees.
He's going to keep some. He's going to throw some.
Yeah, the honey's flammable as fuck.
It's flammable as fuck. Who would have known?
Flammable as fuck.
Is that true?
I don't know.
It has to be, right?
I believe it now that it's in a movie.
Yeah, honey is flammable. Yeah.
I believe whatever anyone says in a Jason Statham movie.
I mean, they make it sound like it's napalm, like it's flammable as fuck, like it's like so dangerous.
Yeah, I would imagine it's just more flammable than you think. Which is zero,
right. Yeah, but it's not like better than a Molotov cocktail. But
I mean, we'll find out next week. We'll learn all the flammability of honey.
We'll see how many buildings he blows up with honey.
Yeah.
Until then, that's what he poured on all those computers in the trailer. It's not gasoline, it's honey.
Yeah, and honey is expensive. I mean, I guess gasoline's expensive too, but like that's a lot of honey. Also, it would take a lot of time.
Joe Biden's America, gasoline's expensive.
That's true. No, look, don't check anybody. It is. DJ, do you have anything to plug?
No, still on Golden Bachelor, or I keep saying Golden Bachelor, Roses and Rejections hiatus. We'll be back soon with stuff, especially when the new season starts. I think we'll have an episode next week. We're going to go over the Women of Joey season, which is the upcoming season. Real quick, we watched The Wedding. It sucked. 2 hours gone. We'll never get back.
No.
Did he shit himself?
He didn't. I wish he did. Yeah.
Damn. So, I mean, if he did, we didn't find out about it.
That's true. Maybe he shit himself, but they're just like, in a commercial break, just wipe it off and everyone calm down.
Yeah.
So, Diggins, anything to plug?
Nope. What about you, Nando?
I don't have any new videos out. I am going to do my first, because I've been sick, but I haven't sacrificed anyone to the night swim, so I haven't gotten better yet. I may start trying that though, like just throwing people in pools and seeing if that fixes it.
What about your cats?
I mean, at a certain point, somebody's gonna have to make the sacrifice, and I just don't know who it's gonna be. Whichever one annoys me the most on the computer, I guess.
Nice.
But yeah, I think so I think I was gonna do more videos. I'll probably make a video about Echo. I also want to do videos about, and I don't know exactly what to call these, but like Marvel Snap lore videos about like, this character has this power, but it's weird or it's cool because of what they did in the book that they're from. So I've been rereading World War Hulk, which I quite enjoyed, and Planet Hulk. But those are not out yet, so it'll probably take a couple days. Those will be on the Nando cut.
We got to get you with some of the cool Marvel Snap content creators.
I know. I have to befriend them all.
They can keep wrecking Nando at the movies.
Movies. We're gonna get a hold of Cozy. We're gonna find a way. We're gonna get a hold of him.
I'm sure. I mean, listen, if you're Cozy right now, if you're that person, then this is great. We've done a good job. I don't want anybody else. If you know him personally, you can bring it up. But I will let everybody know when I've made at least one of these videos, so people can show him that.
Yeah,
and not just be like
a collab.
Yeah. But until next week for Beekeeper, I've been at Nando V Movies on Twitter.
I'm at Zippy by Day.
I'm at This Is an Odd Man.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Bye.